Obviously, likely rain wrap. Don't go looking for this. Not the time or the place for that. But a confirmed tornado warning is certainly a significant upgrade that we have within this. So let's take a look at that velocity again. That's a little bit much. Let's get over to this one. So right through the heart of downtown. Chief, what are you seeing on your end there? Do you have a good glimpse of it?
Look, I've got the home view pulled up. Let me switch back here. I'm on links 2. I have the Somerset camera. Obviously, our view, we're right at the hospital, so this is coming straight at where we're located. Covered up, obviously, with rain. So it's going to be rain wrapped in that picture that Justin was showing you. If you still have that pulled up off to the side there, we have like rain, and then you can see the clear defined area there. He's got that pulled up. Look at that one more time.
Taylor's getting it in the control room, so they're going to pull up that picture for us.
All right, so on the radar, what you're looking at, anybody living in Somerset, Ferguson, Burnside, central eastern parts of Pulaski County, there is a tornado on the ground. So you need to be interior room, away from windows until this passes on by, all right? So away from windows, lowest floor of your home. Now's the time, obviously, to remember and go through those plans that you and your family have, where you're supposed to go. Where you go during severe weather. Grab that blanket, grab some pillows real quick, get into that bathtub, get into an interior hallway away from windows. Turn up the TV, follow us with the live stream that's here on our weather app or on fox56news.com, and that way you can watch us and not have to stay under TV. Let's look at the home view. I'm just going to stay with this here because we're right in the heart of Somerset, and I'm looking and kind of panning to see if we can see anything. You can definitely see the trees down here, though, that are just obviously absolutely whipping. Strong winds regardless. Obviously, with that tornado that's coming through, we can't see it here because just like many of you, it is rain wrapped from our vantage point. The picture that we had a moment ago that was sent in from a drone was from miles away. So it was in a rain-free zone where you could actually see right there where the tornado was. Regardless, yes, we had a tornado and it's likely still on the ground by looking at some of the latest reflectivities on the radar. Let me go back to the radar image, and this is going to show you where it's at right now, at least the center of circulation. This is going to give us at least our best picture that we have. Right here, confirmed tornado. Just moments ago, just again on the south, near the airport. So we're talking just to the south of the city of Somerset, all right? I mean, it's in town, but the center of circulation is closer to Ferguson, right here, all right, on the south side of Somerset. So streets here, Rose Road, Ruth Community, Kettlehead Road, Alcold Community, and I know that I probably mispronounced that. This is where the tornado is, right here, and it's moving due east. So the Colo, Dykes community over toward Poplarville, Goodwater, Whetstone, that is going to be taking a track east, and I will put a track on it 45 miles per hour. So not as fast as some of the storms were moving a little bit earlier, but yes, confirmed tornado. Somerset, Ferguson, everyone within sight of this warning obviously needs to stay in your safe place till we give you the all clear. Here are the estimated times. Again, we just called some of these smaller communities out, all right? You know them. Sometimes they're a bend in the road. Sometimes it's a neighborhood, all right? Ruth, right now, basically. We're getting over toward Cola. You're talking about at 11:08. That's only a couple of minutes from now, and some of these actually may be a little delayed considering that the rotation is already right here in the city, and that's only a couple of miles away. You get over toward the Dykes area, we're talking about 5, maybe 10 minutes, all right? And then the lead time, if that holds together, it's going to be crossing over into Laurel County. Peyton?
It looks like our Pulaski County camera down there in Somerset just lost signal.
Wow.
So likely seeing power outages continue to increase down across that area. So yeah, just wanted to point that out, that we've lost signal on our tower camera, our home view camera at the Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital.
Right. And when we were looking at that, you could clearly see the increased wind speeds. Our camera, little far, just a touch farther to the west of that, because the airport is basically just down the road from where the hospital's located. So it could have obviously been from power getting knocked out from some power lines, or it could be from the tornado itself right there, but we've obviously lost that. So we're going by the radar image right now. We know from that previous picture that Justin was showing you, and we're efforting to get back up. It was a narrow tornado. It was a smaller tornado, but it was still a tornado nonetheless. It was rain wrapped, but we could get a good picture of it just because of the drone that was looking at the storm from miles away. The center of circulation now just off to the east-southeast really of the heart of Somerset. So that's going to be Rush Branch Road. I'll get even some smaller roads on here for you. There's Rush Branch. This is going to be taking us off to the east, going, I mentioned again, toward Kettlehead Road, Stewart Road, Clay Hill Road. This is going to also continue its trek off to the east, Apple Lane. So we're giving you as much lead time here. Everyone in Pulaski from Somerset all the way even as far south as Burnside and as far east as the county line that meets up with Laurel County, you need to go ahead and get in that interior room. And we've not seen, obviously, this storm all night long going back to Paducah, not showed signs of really losing its structure because of the atmosphere below this. Tennessee and points to the south, it's untapped, okay? So it's pulling up warm, humid, muggy, unstable air, feeding into this storm. So as it goes east, it likely will continue. So here's your early heads up if you live in Laurel County. There's not a warning there yet, but it likely will get extended. Justin?
And that's what we were saying all night long, not to just beat the dead horse, but we've had that system moving in. We told Pulaski County folks that, hey, this thing could produce a tornado about an hour ago and to be ready. So now we've got that in place. Our friends in Laurel County and beyond, all across Hal Rogers Parkway, really, that's the main storm that's going to be coming your way here as this next line follows suit. I just want to touch on a couple of these other locations because there's significant wind gusts on those too. So Somerset folks, you're down, you're safe. Quick update coming your way again here in just a few minutes. Let's roll down this line real fast and get you the latest on what else is knocking on the door. In Fayette County right now, through Lexington from Georgetown all the way up to Cynthiana, Paris, Lexington downtown, Nicholasville, we've got a strong line of storms capable of producing 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So that severe thunderstorm warning is in play until 11:30 for all of those places, including Nicholas County, Bourbon, and Clark County out in front of it, northern Madison. Of course, if you're in Jessamine County, Nicholasville downtown, and pointing northward, all the way through Fayette, Scott, and Woodford County's far northern portions of Mercer County till 11:30 p.m. You need to be down in your safe space as well. This storm is packing quite the punch, heavy rain, and quite a bit of frequent lightning, and also the possibility of some quarter-sized hail. Moving down the line towards Mercer County again, Harrodsburg to Boyle County and Danville, and even further to the south in Casey County. This line of storms is also producing and has recorded 59-plus-mile-an-hour wind gusts as it's made its way through places like Bardstown and Elizabethtown, and it is now working towards us as well. Velocity readings on that are showing very strong winds trying to get into Boyle County as we speak. A closer look at where those strongest winds are, of course, anywhere along this leading line, sure, you're going to have that. But when we get readings like this on velocity, where if I were to take a quick picture of that and try to get a reading in the cloud, we have a zone that is trying to get to 88 or even 90 miles an hour. That's up in the thunderstorm, but that doesn't mean that it can't translate some of that to the surface. Of course, it updates real quick one time as the scan comes through, but we can do it again and likely find you another brief area there where we're seeing some significant wind gusts. And that's going towards Perryville right now. And all along that blip in that storm, it's going to be moving eventually towards Junction City, Danville, and they are going to need to be down in their safe space. Now's the time. You have plenty of time before this gets there, another 20 minutes, and it's going. Quick update on the Pulaski storm. It does look pretty impressive on radar, and they extended that warning out quite a bit.
And you can see, look at this, look how there's basically like a void in the precipitation there. When you zoom in, like a donut hole right there, that's likely where we're talking about the center of circulation. They've continued this confirmed tornado still on the ground just now off to the east of the city of Somerset, just east. When I say city, I'm talking about dead center of Somerset, just east of there, just east of Ferguson and moving east. What else I want to show you? Let me go inside the storm and we can look at our debris detector. Absolutely, guys, look at this. This is the first time that we've seen this, and obviously we haven't. Where you see this dropping color, what this product is looking at is it looks at the storm in anything that is not a uniform size, such as a raindrop, such as a hailstone. It's going to give it a different color. like debris, things like tree limbs, things like buildings, things like roof, things like wood. That's a different shape. It gets that and it gives a lower reading. That's what that is right there, that big drop. That drop, that is the debris that's showing up. It's moving off to the east. So let me just put a track on the front edge of this. Still 45 miles per hour. So on that front edge here, this is where the center of circulation, this is where the confirmed tornado is. Moving east at 45. These are smaller communities. I called these out earlier, but again, this is where we're at, okay? Right now, Colo, it is on your doorstep. You may have a couple of minutes in Drum, okay? Dykes, you may have a couple of minutes as well. We're talking it's 11:10 now, 11:13 as it gets there. Poplarville, 11:14. Eula, 11:15. Down to Mountain Victory, 11:18. Goodwater, 11:18. And Acorn at 11:20. So confirmed tornado right here, okay? That where I've circled in white. That is where we have a tornado on the ground. Again, we're going to get an updated scan and just did. You saw how that moved off to the east just a bit here. That is now, let me get down to street level. I mentioned the Colo area. It's right on top of Kettlehead Road, right here. Colo, Kettlehead Road. It is very close to Sulphur Springs, Hollow Road, right in here. We're talking about Malvern Hill Church Road. That's heading as you're going toward the Dykes community. Meese Road, over toward Farmer Woodall Road, all right? And then you get over to Poplarville Road. All of these areas in the zone of, yes, a confirmed tornado. So let's go back over this, okay? A wider view and just revisit what we obviously need to do there in a tornado. We talk about this all the time, but at school visits, I know kids, when we hear tornado, everyone we get a little anxious, okay? Anxiety goes up. What we want to do is stay calm, grab our blankets and pillows. If you're not already in your safe spot, grab a helmet. If your kid has a bike helmet, baseball helmet, some type of helmet, put it on, okay? That will help protect your head, even obviously more than, let's say, putting a pillow over top of you, okay? Because that helmet is there for extra protection. You want to get into that interior room away from windows. Don't try to look for this. We already showed you on our home view camera before it went out that it was rain wrapped. We only were able to get a view from a drone that was miles away, okay? Don't try to look. That's our human nature. We want to see it. We want to say, oh, where's the tornado? You don't want to do that. You only have seconds, okay, to get into a basement. If you don't have a basement, lowest floor of a home, bathroom, closet. If your bathroom has windows, don't go there. Don't want to go to a room with any windows at all. Interior room away from windows. All right, that's moving east. This is where the tornado is at right there. So London, I know you are a ways out from this, but everyone in Laurel County, center of the county, London, back off to the west of London, central parts of Laurel County, this will be coming your way, and we're going to give you the lead time, but I'm telling you, you're only talking about maybe 30 minutes or so before that gets in there, if that. Justin?
Yeah, and it's just been an impressive storm nonetheless as it's made its way here. Just a couple other quick notes to touch on as we just take a short break. Pulaski and Laurel friends will be right back with you down there. We just had a 59-mile-an-hour wind gust confirmed here in Lexington. That means we have severe wind gusts confirmed with the blanket warning that's in place. This is velocity reading. We've got a lot of areas of the brighter, lighter pinks in there. We've got a lot of stuff down in Boyle County, same story. Everywhere we have that, we could see gusts 70+ miles an hour in there, and that is something that we need to be careful of. So if you are anywhere from Cynthiana down to Paris, through Lexington and Nicholasville, Harrodsburg to Danville, and even Liberty, the warnings are in play for you right now here for us till at least 11:30, and anywhere within this line of storms we could see significant wind gusts. So please heed the warning, get down into your safe space in those areas as well. Just a quick look outside here to touch on what we've got going on in Lexington. You're going to see quite the scene as rain showers and thunderstorms roll through. We've got frequent lightning. Not seeing as much wind directly here in Chevy Chase, but again, airport's across town, so we're not going to see as much. We also have a latest update here for you. I'll keep an eye on this one. We've got Peyton with the latest video, it looks like, of that tornado-warned storm, that confirmed tornado in Pulaski County. Peyton, let's take a look at what you found.
Yeah, so a viewer that lives pretty close to the lake looking towards Somerset, we'll go ahead and press play. You can see what looks to be the funnel cloud right in here. I know it's really hard to see, but with the flashes of lightning, we can get a little little bit of a picture there. This was likely in the early stages when it was working right into Somerset. So this is in a more rural area, but this was just moments ago. Video just sent to me by a viewer down in Pulaski County as out in the distance as it worked towards the Somerset area. So getting some pretty impressive video in. You can make out that funnel right there out in the distance. It's just really hard where it's dark, and that's why these situations can be so dangerous, is because you can't see the tornado coming when it's rain wrapped, and especially when it's nightfall like it is out right now. But pretty impressive video coming in there of what could possibly be that tornado that has been confirmed there in Pulaski County, guys. Justin Logan, our chief meteorologist, standing by in the Weather Center as well. Justin, what's the latest on this storm? Continuing to try to gather video like this to help tell that weather story.
Thank you for grabbing that, and thank for our viewer for doing that. We obviously want people to, if it's safe to do that, obviously, if you're from a distance like that viewer was. Let me show you once again. I have circled here on the radar where we have a confirmed tornado. It is on top of the Dykes community. Let me go back. This is our standard velocity product. This is the winds inside the storm. Let me switch back over toward the debris detector that we were showing this to you a little bit ago. And look, right there, same zone, okay? Where that blue is, that was where the reds and the greens were meeting up. So that is the debris that's showing up on the radar. This is where the tornado's at, and it is moving off to the east at 45. You see that spinning signature here? That is our rotation detector, right? It's kind of lagging behind. Obviously, we have other tools here that are telling us that the rotation is just a little farther off to the east, which is putting it right on top of the Dykes community. All right, let me reset here with this same storm. And what I want to do is I want to put future radar on here, because this is going to take this particular storm and take it out over the next 2 hours. And this product, look how it still has the hook and the detail that this product has. So I'll advance this and watch. It takes that toward London and then eventually over into Clay County. So it has that bit of a turn where it's going more east-northeast over the next couple of hours. But where it's at, obviously, right now is still into the eastern part here of Pulaski County. Latest scan takes it, obviously, even further off to the east. So if you're in Laurel County right now, you still have time. Don't try to be outside on your front porch looking as the storm's coming in, because look what's on the leading edge of this. Usually on these supercells on your northern side, you're going to get torrential rain. You're going to get the hail core that's here. That's going to be rolling in ahead of this when you get the rain-free zone down to the southwest corner. That's where we have a confirmed tornado. And this track is pretty close to where the center of circulation is. The Barron Tornado Index is a 5. That scale goes up to about a 10. Obviously, we have a tornado because we showed you the picture, at least as of last report. And looking at the debris detector, we can see that it was still on the ground. 11:19, that's 2 minutes from now, but it's already there. It's on top of Dykes. It's on top of Bent. You've only got down the line here toward Conrad, 11:29. London, obviously, and Bernstadt, Pittsburgh, East Bernstadt, some Limity City. Those are over in Laurel County. You're only looking at maybe 15, 30 minutes at the most. All right, that's racing your way. Goodwater, this is about to be on top of you, and so is the NO community. Let me clear off a lot of these boxes. We have a lot of things on here that I'm showing you at the same time, and it gets a little cluttered. Look at how that's tightening up in the rotation. This is actually the tightest couplet that I've seen on this storm right now. When you're looking at the lighter shades here, the greens, the blues, those are the winds that are going toward the radar that's in Jackson. The reds are going away. Right there next to each other is obviously where we have that tornado, and that's on top of or just off to the east of Dykes. So it's between Dykes and Goodwater is where the tornado is located. We'll throw on some of those roads there, streets, as we get closer. Parkey Ridge Road up toward Mounts Road, all right? This is where the tornado is located as we speak. Mount Victory, I need you in your safe spot. Goodwater, safe spot right now. Everyone over into Laurel County needs to be in your safe spot too. Justin, did you have new information about this storm that you were looking at?
This storm, not specifically. No, I was trying to find you some more pictures and some more updates of it. this is about as serious as it gets, you guys. I mean, there's a confirmed tornado on the ground. There's nothing more we can say other than this thing is coming towards you there in Laurel County, and it's time to be in your safe space. It's obviously causing some damage. There was reports of power flashes, which means that power lines were being taken out by this storm as it moved through Pulaski. Can't stress it enough. You need to be down in your safe space. J-Lo is going to continue to monitor that storm. Of course, that's obviously our biggest and most impactful piece as of right now. Tornado warning as confirmed through Laurel County. But we have this main line racing to the east, the entire thing from almost now into Fleming County, down through Fayette, and then heading towards places of Campbellsville, Danville. Everybody is now within a blanket in this warning from Madison County, back down through Rockcastle, and then just outside of Pulaski. In fact, Casey County and Lincoln inside of this until midnight now. This storm is producing confirmed wind gusts over 60 miles an hour, possibly upwards of 70 miles an hour, and it's moving to the east at 75 miles an hour. So it is going to be taking over as it moves in for us here in the next couple of hours. J-Lo, another update on that storm in Pulaski County. Serious stuff, you guys.
Yeah, this thing just continues to tighten. And obviously, if you just missed a little bit earlier, we lost our view from the storm in Somerset because our home view lost power. Our camera went out. Where we have a confirmed tornado is in eastern Pulaski County, and it's moving east at 45. Let me throw on some of these smaller communities here and take off this twisting of the wind so it can kind of clear some things up, all right? Right on top of Goodwater, Whetstone, Mount Victory, anywhere in this zone right here, those smaller communities, this is where we have a tornado, okay? And it's moving east at 45. So let me clear that track off, and I'm going to draw a new one because this is moving more east as opposed to it is east-northeast like that track was showing. So I want to give as much lead time on this, obviously, as possible as it keeps racing east. And this is the center of it is going to come very close to London, if not just slightly south. But again, these tornadoes can wobble just a little bit. So everyone in Laurel County right now, Bernstadt, East Bernstadt, London, Ferriston, High Top, Lilly, the Boring community over toward Fletcher, Brock, over toward Deer Lick. Again, smaller communities, but all of those I just called out, if you live near those, you need to be interior room away from windows. We have a confirmed tornado. If you're just tuning in, I'm sure you've probably heard by now the tornado sirens going off. I'm sure your phone has alerted you too as the alerts go out, the emergency alerts go out on there, and it says tornado warning. It's the first thing you're like, okay, where is this? Well, we had a confirmed tornado in Somerset, okay? It was near the airport a little earlier. We had a viewer that sent that video into us after the fact, but we also saw a picture first, and this is where it's currently at. It's out of Somerset and it's out of Fergus. It's into the eastern part of Pulaski County, and I just gave you some of those smaller communities. Let me go back and I want to look one more time again here at our correlation coefficient. This is a dangerous situation. Not to say that to scare you, but right here, the colors are even dropping a bit more, okay? So if you know someone that may be asleep right now, that may have not heard their phone go off, or they don't have a cell phone, they have a home phone, call them right now. Give them a call on the phone. Eastern Pulaski, anybody in Laurel County, call them. Tell them there is a tornado on the ground and it's on just about to be to the Pulaski and Laurel County line here. Goodwater, it is just off to the east of you, okay? That's a community we've been mentioning several times. It's going east, and on this trajectory, it would again be very, very close to London. It may pass just south, but London, you still need to be down lowest floor of your home, interior room. If you live in a mobile home and you're way over here in London, you have time to get out. Get out. You just have to get out. Anybody in London and south there, do it quick. Find a neighbor. Somebody that you wanted, that you know, that you can seek shelter. You don't want to be in that mobile home. I cannot stress that enough, okay? But there is a tornado that is on the ground. We are obviously going to stay with this. This is the only storm right now that has a tornado warning on it, and it's confirmed, okay? It's not often around here that we get confirmed tornadoes like this and give signatures like this and give videos like this that we're able to see. A lot of times around here, we'll get these quick spin-up tornadoes, okay? This is a different scenario. This is one that we've seen pictures, we've seen videos, we see debris showing up on the radar, which is the radar seeing the tornado obviously lofting the debris that it's in the air. So that's how we know that there still is a tornado here, and it's moving off to the east at 45 east of northeast by looking at that latest scan. Let me just show you how it's kind of how it's gone over time here, and it started. Look at that, Justin. As I just kind of take this back, it's the first time that I've gone back a little. You can see a bit of the debris actually all the way back off to the west, but it really did flare up as it got closer to Somerset. Check that out. And then as it currently stands, it's on the Pulaski and Laurel County line.
And it's just gotten so tight. So tight.
Well, I mean, like well defined. Like, you know that there is a circulation there, that there's a tornado still on the ground. I've been mentioning Goodwater, but I'm just zooming all the way in here. We're in a rural area, obviously, of eastern Pulaski, a rural area of about to be Laurel County. This is the county line right here, Stepping Rock Ridge Road. Some of these are so small. Bathhouse Ridge Road, the Narrows Road, Line Creek Road. Looks like that's Rooks Road. We're now crossing over into Laurel County. Those places that I just have minutes, if not seconds, before the tornado gets there. And from down the line from there at 45 miles an hour, it's going to be in London here quick. I'm going to actually track out ahead of that just a bit, just to even give even a little bit more lead time at 45. These are the communities. High Top, 1134. All right, so that is further over into Laurel County here. But there are obviously rural areas of western Laurel County that it's impacting sooner than that. The roads that I just gave you. Kevee, 1137, Pine Grove 1140, Sublimity City 1141, London 1142, Ferriston 1143. That's your lead time right now. So anybody in Laurel County, seek shelter immediately. Down, under something, center of your home, keep away from windows, duck. Get as low as you can in your home. And I know a lot of spots around here, we don't have basements. I went over that earlier. And this just goes to reiterate that you want to get a center room. And most of the time, our center rooms in a lot of homes on the first floor is a bathroom. All right, and that bathroom has all the plumbing that kind of helps to reinforce the strength of that bathroom, the walls around that. Plus, it has several walls to get to the outside part of the home. That's why a center room away from windows is obviously the best. Hop in that bathtub, but you know what? If that is not the center of your home and your bathroom has windows, don't go there. Hallway, closet, lowest floor, interior room, staircase that has a closet underneath those, usually very sturdy. Get there, okay? I'm just going through a lot of things. If you don't have a basement, get a mattress, get some pillows, get those helmets, and just put that on there. Yeah. Have you seen anything, any reports?
I haven't. I was trying to see how high up this debris ball might be in the atmosphere. I was trying to find it on there. If you look at there's different levels of the radar beam that kind of points up and down in the storm, and it shoots up, and this is showing up through all four of the angles that we can see. So likely debris being lofted high into the air too. So even outside of that tornado, debris can be flying for miles at this point, really miles. So it's no joke. Even if you don't, if it doesn't sound loud at your house right now, that doesn't mean that you're safe by any means. All right, we're going to get back to that in just a moment. I want to take just 30 seconds to a minute here to cover the rest, because we've got blanket thunderstorm warnings across really all of central Kentucky and moving through eastern Kentucky. Places up there like Rowan County, Bath County, folks in Flemingsburg. I told you guys earlier that you didn't have much of a break. It's back. Okay, severe thunderstorm warning for you guys until 12:15. We have it until 11:30 here for the rest of Bourbon County, and all of these areas now being extended. Garrett County, Madison County, we have Lincoln County in on this, the rest of Casey, and then back into Russell, who was dealing with this cell that has a confirmed tornado warning on it. They were dealing with that just a couple hours ago, and there was reports of some trees down, some funnel clouds in the area. So guys, no joke here. All of these blanket warnings are covering the same thing. Obviously, outside of our confirmed tornado warning, we're looking at severe straight line winds of 70+ miles an hour. That's for everybody inside these warnings. If you see a box in your county, get to your safe space. I know we're talking a lot about the tornado, and it's going towards London right now. Chief is going to have an update with that in just a second. It also looks like we might have a storm tracker guest joining us just briefly here, if we can get them on the phone. Chris Hall, it seems like, might be able to give us some feedback once we get a hold of him. He's headed towards Somerset. I saw it on his Twitter that he was going to be working into that area to figure out what's going on. Obviously, we've had confirmed tornado on the ground, so we need to keep an eye on that. But all of the rest of this line is moving to the east at 70 miles an hour, so it's trying to catch up. That storm with the confirmed tornado is outrunning it. And in fact, it's starting to get to the middle of that box. So realistically, we might even see them extend that confirmed tornado warning even further to the east. It'd be wise if you are in London to be down, of course, but even further to the east than that, now is the time. Anywhere along that Hal Rogers Parkway, give it 20 miles north or south of it, time to get down into the safe space. That's the best thing we can tell you at this point. This storm has been producing tornadic activity for the last 5-6 hours since it was over in Paducah. And we're going to keep talking about that because it's just been the cell that's been working through. Again, the rest of these are producing the winds. I want to just take a moment. J-Lo, you're almost ready, I assume. Let me just touch real quick on this here. We've got a couple of places that are in Danville right now, from Harrodsburg to Danville, Stanford, and down to Liberty. This line of storms specifically has a good chance of producing straight line 70 plus. Not tornado warning, but that is strong as a really low end EF0 tornado. So similar in winds and in more straight line, covering more area, a bit more widespread opportunity for damage in that area as well. And just not to forget about our friends here in Fayette County, Georgetown, Cynthiana, similar readings for wind as storms come through. We're going to have that warning that just expired now, so everything is on the lead from that the rest of the way. But just take note, that's what we've got. That tornado still looks pretty impressive and pretty dangerous down there in the London area. Justin, what do you have for us there? Is it in London at this time? How close are we talking about here?
Still a few miles away. We're looking at it in the western part of Laurel County. It's a rural part of the county. Let me zoom in, okay? Because when we zoom all the way down to even roads, there's not a lot of communities out in this part of the county. So we're giving like some roads here. Line Creek Road, it's just to the west of you, okay? Line Creek Road, West Laurel Road, looks like Rooks Road. This is passing just north of High Top. All right, here's High Top, but you are close enough by, okay? Again, in High Top, that you need to be in your shelter because this storm could turn off to the right a little bit more and get there to you, okay? But on this track, all of these communities here, okay? And I'm even including High Top, Pine Grove at 11:41. So that gives 10 minutes at 45 miles an hour, but I wouldn't even risk it. If you're not in your safe spot in those communities, I would go immediately. London, 11:43. So that only gives you about 11 minutes, if not sooner than that. Maplesville, 11:47, all the way toward the Lesbos community at 11:48. There's the newest scan. So obviously still showing that we have that debris signature showing up on radar. Let me go back. A lot of times when you're watching us, we often are showing this view on the radar. This is the velocity. This is where the radar is looking inside the storm, so to speak. It sees the direction that the wind is moving the raindrops toward or away from the radar. They're right there together. So you look in that same zone, and we look at the debris detector in that area. A drop, all right, a drop in CC, a drop in that is where there is debris right there. So the radar on this product, as it talked about this earlier, is looking for raindrops and hailstones and things like that. Normal, obviously, weather phenomena. This is not normal, okay? So it says, hold on a second, there's something different that I'm seeing that's out there, so I'm going to flag that, and I'm going to give a lower value. This is the lower value. This is where we have a tornado on the ground. You see this little spinning signature? That is our radar that gives a debris detector. Obviously, it's showing up. It says, hey, there is debris here. We know that. That's what we've been saying. And it's moving toward London, High Top. It's right there you're close enough by, okay? But the heart of London, city of London, just south on Interstate 25. If you know somebody in Laurel County, all right, if you know somebody down here and they may be asleep, all right, they may be a hard sleeper, call them, call them, call them. Keep calling until they answer, all right? Another thing, too, if you know somebody that may be traveling tonight on the road, call them. They need to get off the road. They need to either find a sturdy building, gas station, grocery store, someplace that they can pull off at. If they can't, the next best place is, yes, in a ditch. Lowest, lowest, lowest. You don't want to pull under an underpass or an overpass. Winds can accelerate under that as a tornado is coming through. Don't do that. So that's for drivers. But if you're at home, obviously, basement, lowest floor, interior room, away from windows. And on that newest track that's coming in here, there are the communities, okay? So let me redraw that because this is racing out a little faster as we got a new update. Coming east, northeast here, still at around 45. Again, if you're just joining us, confirmed tornado on the ground still in Laurel County. All right, west of London. It's not at London yet, but you've only got in London here less than 10 minutes. All right, you don't want to chance this. Pine Grove 1142, Ferriston 1145, and Deer Lake 1153. Peyton, do you have an update? Anything, more reports, videos?
Actually, joining us on the phone right now, we have Chris Hall from 606 Storm Chasing. Chris, hopefully you can hear me. I know some of your folks have been out and they actually witnessed this tornado down in Pulaski County. Tell us what you're hearing.
Yeah, violent tornado damage near Somerset, Ferguson, and it's still ongoing right now. He still reports that he actually just put it on Twitter. You can go, I don't know if you could share or not. That would be up to him. But there is a video out there of damage in the Somerset, Ferguson area, and unfortunately, this tornado is not lifting. It is not weakening, and it is heading towards even more populated areas.
Yeah, and Chris, you deal with storm chasing all the time. You've been across the country dealing with this. Based off what you're hearing, what are the first things kind of going through your mind right now that you would want to share with viewers based off your experience covering storms like this?
With my experience covering storms, this is not a storm to mess around with. I have pledged people on social media all day to take warnings seriously today. A very high ceiling for tornadoes today, and unfortunately that high ceiling has came to be. This tornado is very violent. This is one of our higher-end tornadoes that you'll ever see in eastern Kentucky history, ongoing right now. It is throwing debris. You have to be underground to survive this kind of tornado. You can't just be hoping that, that you're going to go around. No, you're actually going to have to try and survive this tornado if it's moving right at you, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Chris, we've been getting some pictures and video into our newsroom, trying to share that with viewers so they know how serious this situation is. What is some of the damage that you're hearing reports of from the folks on the ground that you're working with?
Power lines are completely down. I've heard of a couple of residences and buildings completely crumbled. Vehicles have been tossed like toys. And unfortunately, like I said, that is still going and no sign of it lifting. So.
Yeah, we're watching the pictures on radar right now as this is crossing into Laurel County. So Pulaski County is pretty much now this is behind you and now moving into portions of Laurel County. And we're seeing all that damage, as you mentioned, power lines down, trees down, and a dangerous situation for sure. I will say this, I know you do a lot of great work in recovery and things like that as well. So we always appreciate seeing those things that you do across the country. I want to ask though, before we let you go, again, you said how serious this situation can be. What do you think a community response afterwards could be, especially in Somerset, if you're getting word of this serious damage that we're seeing? What's next for some of these folks?
Right now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it's going to be a sunrise sort of thing where you're going to wake up and you're going to see nothing but destruction. I hate to say that, but that's the kind of tornado that you're dealing with right now. This is, like I said, the higher-end tornadoes that you will ever deal with in eastern Kentucky history. So you're going to wake up in the morning, you will unfortunately see destruction for miles and miles and miles in the morning. A lot of folks are going to wake up to no home. Unfortunately, this is the kind of tornado that we may be talking about losing loved ones as well.
Yeah, unfortunate.
But tomorrow it's going to start the cleanup. It's going to start the cleanup tomorrow, but it's going to be a long time to clean up. But like we know, Eastern Kentucky stays strong, and we help one another. We're actually heading down there right now. We're about an hour away. We're going to try to assist with search and rescue if that's ongoing, and we're going to try to help with the recovery process as soon as we can.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. And of course, we'll continue to check in with you as we can. Want to get it back over to Chief Meteorologist Justin Logan. He has some video or some pictures coming out of those areas right now of some of that damage. Justin?
This was from Billy Bowling, and we're going to obviously, if anybody, again, Laurel County, the tornado still on the ground just to the southwest of London. But this was the storm of major damage along south of Highway 27, just south of Somerset earlier. Watch the video. Again, just south of Somerset, you can see the major damage to some of these structures. This video, again, this was courtesy of Billy Bowling. Major tornado damage south of Somerset, Kentucky, South Highway 27. You can see major structures down here that were hit a little bit earlier. Let's go back to the radar because I want to show you where the storm's at right now. Again, still going through Laurel County right now. Here is where we would have the center of the tornado right there. That debris ball or the debris signature that you see, that is where we have the tornado still on the ground, coming closer and closer to London right here. This is going to be going toward Pine Grove, Sublimity City, and here it is. It's getting closer, okay? So Pine Grove, Sublimity City, London. Ferriston along Highway 25. Again, you're talking about also Interstate 75 that cuts right through here as well, north and south. There's a wider view, okay? Here's 75, here's London, here's the Cumberland Parkway, here's the Hal Rogers Parkway. This tornado is likely, it's likely going to stay, and it is staying south right now of the Cumberland Parkway, but it's going to be going very close to downtown London. It may just miss downtown, but it is likely going to come at least on the south side of the city of London. You can see our debris detector just popped right back up. There it is. So let me go down to street level and go through some of the roads again. So everyone, Whitley Street, Barberville Road, East Laurel Road, again, Laurel Road or US 25. Again, this is Keavy Road, West Laurel Road again, Parker Road, going into Main Street, obviously, as we mentioned a moment ago, McGill Pine Grove Road. This is Wyan Road. All of these areas are right in the path here of the tornado, and this is it. I will circle it back for you again, right here where we have this blue, and this is moving off to the east just like this, okay? So that's why I was saying it may just be on the south side of London, but still, it is close enough by everyone, if you're not there now, needs to be in your safe place. I can't stress this enough. I've seen this cycle just a bit. Just a minute ago where we saw it look like that the debris signature was a little weaker, but it upticked again, and here's what's going to happen. This is likely not going to weaken. It's going to hold, and it could go even all the way over into Clay County. So if you live in Clay County, anybody living over there, you're not under a warning yet, but get to your safe place, Clay County. Do it, and do it now. If you live in a mobile home in Clay County, Manchester, this likely passes south of Burning Springs, but Manchester will be close enough by. There along the Hal Rogers Parkway all the way out in Clay County, go into the basement, the lowest floor of your home, interior room, away from windows, okay? Let me there's the newest scan. The radar is updating more frequently. They have this to update as much as possible as it's moving east so we can get again, the newest scans all the time. This is where the tornado is still on the ground, moving east at about still 45 miles an hour. There it is, okay? So Pine Grove, we've been giving you, I've been calling you out for about 15 minutes, 2 minutes. It's basically on your doorstep right now. You're probably hearing it. You're probably hearing the wind pick up there. Sublimity City, Ferriston, all the way out to the Brock community. How much time you got? Well, it's 11:50, 8 minutes if that. 8 minutes if that. The Lida community, Marydale. Let's see where that is. The Lida community, 11:55. You guys found any more?
It's just the same tornado that's rolling through. I just had a quick still from a video that was showed on X. Just pop over links one real quick so you can get this is a still of a video with lightning. This is the tornado that was going through Somerset. This is likely the same tornado that's still going on now.
Yeah.
And it is It is significant. It's big. And this is from Logan Pugh on X. He posted this video, so credit to him in Somerset there. I just wanted to give you a glimpse of that as that rolls through. We obviously have that tornado warning that actually just got extended here just a moment ago. Were you talking about that, Justin, where it was getting into Clay County now until 12:30 a.m.? They have a confirmed tornado warning in their neck of the woods as well. So we'll have that get extended. Plus, the storm warnings are being blanketed further. So the line of storms, J-Lo, that's coming in at 70+ miles an hour, if you guys could throw the wall up real quick, this line of storm that's coming in at 70-mile-an-hour winds is producing those storms right back in the areas that were just hit. So folks in Somerset, another wave is coming. If you're out looking for damage, if you know people that are out looking for it right now, we can't get out of our safe zone yet. Another storm is entering Somerset as we speak. We showed you the video of the damage that was already done there, and now 70+ mile-an-hour winds are going to be possible once again in that zone. So the tornado confirmed storm moving from London to Manchester now, and we've got a line of 60 to 70 mile-an-hour straight line winds to follow. Not the time to be out of your safe space. Please stay down in it. Everybody that is inside of these warnings, tornado confirmed or not, even back off towards Russell Springs, there was funnel clouds and tornadoes being reported that we saw in the National Weather Service chat. And then, of course, everybody in central Kentucky, and this is pushing into eastern Kentucky, trying to catch that confirmed warning. Confirmed tornado warning and severe thunderstorm warning lapped on top of each other for what's following it. So Justin Logan has the update on that. Of course, as we go through, Peyton has an update for us now, too, it seems, on that storm. I don't know which one we're bouncing to. Somebody take it away.
Yeah, hey, Justin, really quick, working our sources all down in that area right now. Just want to get some information out to you from the Somerset Fire Department. They are currently responding to that damage back in Pulaski County. My sources down there at the Somerset Fire Department tell me that they are seeing a lot of damage in the area of traffic light number 22 and Parker's Mill Road, and they're telling everyone, do not get out. Now is not the time to get out, that there are power lines and poles down all across that area. So again, stoplight 22 and Parker's Mill Road, fire department responding to those areas. Again, that's coming from the Somerset Fire Department. We're trying to work all of our sources down in that area. We actually have a crew headed there right now. So we're going to try to bring you updates throughout the night as we can with this. So we'll continue to keep you updated. But again, the stoplight 22 and Parker's Mill Road, fire crews are responding there for some considerable damage is what they're calling it, Justin. As this continues, confirmed tornado warning now just south, just a couple miles south of London there, continuing to wreak havoc across the region and now pretty much paralleling the Hal Rogers Parkway. So some strong wording coming from first responders tonight, Justin.
Yeah, looking, we have our camera back in Somerset, so it was likely the power just went out briefly. I was panning that around, but doesn't look like that I'm seeing any damage, at least quickly scanning this. Near the hospital there, okay, right where our camera's at, the Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital. So let's go back to show you where the tornado's at right now. If we still have a tornado, and the last time that we were looking at the storm and the debris signature was still there, and it is, okay, this is it right here. This storm is on the south side of London, okay? Let me move this a little farther back off to the west and center that, okay? Here's I-75. It just crossed I-75 a moment ago. All right, so here's London, Pittsburgh there, Ferriston here, Pine Grove here. Tornado is in between. This is it. Sublimity City. Moving east, okay? It would be going toward Brock, Lesbos, those communities. It's also about to cross US 25 that goes obviously outside of London and goes down to from London to Ferriston. This is it right here, okay? So that's going to keep working its way off to the east. If you look back, look at the same zone here, okay? So everyone in that area, everybody's still in the central part and eastern part of Laurel County, from Pittsburgh all the way south of Sublimity City, south of Pine Grove, need to be in your safe spot, okay? That's where the tornado is. We just got a new scan here, so I'll re-highlight it for you once again. It's there. And if I go back to our standard our standard velocity view that we usually show you the winds, it lines up perfectly, okay? So this is where the tornado is. It's crossing now US 25. A moment ago, I just said it crossed over I-75. Now it's crossing over 25 just to the south of London. I mean, just by a little, okay? And when I say south of London, I'm talking about from the dead center of downtown London, not south side London, okay? From the center of the city. It is just, and I mean just barely to the south of town, okay? Here, let me go back and we'll just keep this on. This is it right here, okay? And moving east at 45. So London, I just keep going over these, but I can't reiterate it enough, because if anybody at all was still by chance asleep as this is moving in, okay? We need everybody, if they're just tuning in, to know that there is a confirmed tornado on the ground near London, okay? It was first reported on the ground near Somerset. It's been on the ground since, and it's here just south of London or very close to it. It's gonna hug right along the Hal Rogers Parkway. Hal Rogers Parkway all the way over to likely near Manchester in Clay County. So the confirmed tornado warning is extended there, and it goes until 12:30 for Laurel and Clay counties. We're at 11:49 right now. And we obviously saw just a moment ago, you have
another tornado warning back in Somerset once again here right now for us as we go through.
Wow.
So it's kind of a double whammy here, folks. That tornado warning in Somerset, new one, not confirmed at this time, but new rotation likely with this. So we've got the confirmed this place has just got hit by a tornado. The one that's confirmed moving out of London now and towards Manchester. And now we have another tornado warning for the downtown area. A little further on the north side this time. I'm going to flip over to the radar scene so we can get an idea. Look at this couplet again, Justin. Again, we have it just to the east here of Somerset and Ferguson. These areas just got hit with a tornado. Right now, this is not confirmed, but this is a tight looking rotation, and it is certainly cause for concern. Please do not get out of your safe space as this rolls through. If you are in between London and Somerset and it sounds like it's quiet now because the last storm went by, you're right back in your safe space if you even thought about getting out. Please do not leave that spot, because this is yet another area of rotation that could be producing the chance for some tornadic activity. Why don't we try to, if it will cooperate with me here, see if we can go right back to our debris signature, because that's been what's been really good at helping us pinpoint these. So at least good news on this part. This looks pretty uniform. So no new debris, it seems, at least on our detector, that there's new tornadic activity touching the ground here, but that's just one look from it. So that's a point of emphasis for us as we watch this. This is the regular velocity reading, not taking into account the storm motion. Still some significant readings on there, but of course the bigger one is just going to be this storm relative version where we see the reds and the greens coming together, and with that is a follow-up to the storm here that has the tornado warning just south, confirmed tornado just south and to the east of London. So we have a pair showing up here on radar. Two different boxes. Areas that have already been hit are still under the gun here. It is by no means time to be moving out of that safe space. We're going to have to keep reiterating this is the strongest pair of storms we have on radar. Of course, we can zoom back out quick and get you onto the regular radar so you can see all of the other storms. Not only do we have another tornado warning in Somerset and that confirmed one extended out, but everywhere along this line, the potential for 70+ mile-an-hour straight line winds is going to be possible. So we have what is a double whammy here. This is a considerably dangerous and life-threatening situation for us in both Pulaski, Laurel, and working into portions of Clay County right now. These are until 12:30 a.m. In Pulaski County, that one until 12:15 again. And this line of storms continues to march to the east through tonight. We expect this overall activity to continue for at least another 2 hours, if not maybe a little bit longer. Justin, do you have another update? I saw you were looking at some pictures. Do we have new info?
Hayden is efforting some other clear pictures from the tornado that came through Somerset earlier. But since we have another tornado warning for Somerset and Pulaski County, we have our home view back up. It came back. So that tells me obviously the hospital was good. They just lost power for a brief period of time. So we're scanning. I want to scan in the direction that the other tornado warning, this one is just off to the north now east of Somerset. Obviously, we're looking from this from the backside. So we're going to be looking into rain, and it is going to be hard, if not impossible, for us to be able to see if there's a tornado now on the ground a second time. Peyton?
Some good news is that tornado warning right now for portions of Pulaski, Laurel, Knox, and Rockcastle County will be able to expire at midnight. So that's some good news, but we still have that new one that's just a little bit behind it. So.
Okay. So you're saying the
confirmed tornado has since lifted.
They're expiring one is what they're saying, and then they still have that other one continuing.
for Clay.
Okay, so
Yes.
in Clay. Okay, so
Okay.
still likely a tornado on the ground. That's a confirmed tornado warning at that. Okay.
Yeah, so the warning that's still confirmed out into the eastern part of Laurel County, and looking at the circulation here, the velocity, it is tightened up just again, and we're seeing brighter shades of these pinks that is right along. This is going to be, I think, Highway 80 that goes out of town here on the east side of town that runs just south of the Cumberland and Hal Rogers, or the Hal Rogers Parkway, I should say. So you're talking about the Daniel Boone, obviously Hal Rogers Parkway, but East Laurel Road is the one I was looking at, and that goes a little farther east. It's riding right along Brock, Lesbos, Lida, Marydale, Lake, Bush, Sasser, all these smaller communities we're calling out. These are all east of London now, east of eastern parts of Laurel County. Still a confirmed tornado. So there's the wide view. And we have other storms, yes, some severe storms, but so far most of those that we've seen not been doing obviously the damage it's been doing down to the south. We just can't leave for long that tornado that is down across southern Kentucky. But let me just give you a quick little recap here. Down across southern Kentucky, we still have a strong to severe thunderstorm, actually a severe thunderstorm that's coming through parts of Russell County. It's for this line that's west of Russell Springs. A tornado warning for Somerset and Pulaski County. A confirmed tornado going east of London, and that goes over into Clay County. Did you have something?
It has an update on
Another
that.
picture?
It's a quick picture of that storm.
Yeah, I'm going to show you this here. This is from Kim Goff down in Somerset. This is that confirmed tornado. Look at that. I mean, this is we've already hearing the stories of the destruction and the damage down there. But I mean, this is a textbook tornado right here, a significant one that could cause not only damage to property and things, but it's life threatening. So we're trying to get these pictures in to show you just how serious this situation is. This was from when it was out again in Pulaski County and Somerset just earlier. Again, now that storm has moved out of that area specifically, but still likely on the ground working through portions of Laurel County right now as we speak. So can we take that full really quick back in the control room just so people at home can see it a little bit better? Look at that. I mean, pretty significant, Justin, both Justins. I mean, it's just, I mean, wow. I mean, speechless looking at some of these photos coming in.
And you know, when we saw the video briefly earlier back in Somerset, just the damage of the structures, we just can pray that everyone is safe. Just pray that. Just try not to get emotional about that. Just pray that everybody's safe in Somerset and London and all in these areas. Right along the Hal Rogers Parkway here, this is where the tornado still is located. Showing up as strong rotation, riding right along the parkway. It'll be riding east, and it's going through eastern Laurel County and is about here very soon to cross over into Clay County. We haven't in a while given you a new storm track, but I'll do that because the storm's still moving at about 45. So on that trajectory, moving east at 45, that's going to take it into those communities I was just saying a moment ago, but these are going to give you some times, okay? Little, if any, time left to get there. A minute, maybe two on Lake, okay? Bush, midnight. Sasser, midnight. Hooker, 12:03. Pigeon Roost, 12:04. Urban, 12:04. Cotton Gym at 12:06. Cyberd at 12:06. Haima, 12:07. Blue Hole at 12:09. That is for the confirmed tornado and for the tornado warning that's back off to the west. Do you have an update on that one, Justin?
Yeah, we'll take a look at the timing on that too. Just the latest scan on this one is showing again, now much further from Somerset, the tightening rotation rotation in that one. Not confirmed at this time, but there's a few reports floating around of a possible funnel cloud with this one. So we'll have to keep an eye out for the potential of that to spin and look at the path it's following, right towards the same path that we saw the confirmed tornado go down. We're going to get a close-up of this one and also talk about where the potential of some tornadic activity can be once again. From Piney Grove and Drum moving towards Benton, Ula, Whetstone, and Acorn, we're going to be seeing that rotation. This is likely where the strongest of this rotation is and where we could see yet another possible tornado right here.
That latest scan on that, Justin.
This one right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
East of Somerset.
Very tight.
Very tight.
Very tight. And also when we get them this tight, this close, now we're talking about what could potentially be another tornado touchdown following the same area. Obviously, there's enough energy, enough spin, enough juice where it's not stopping this one from getting down to the ground either. At least we have no confirmation radar indicated at this time, but impressive nonetheless. We're going to also throw a tracker on this one so you can see, and it looks like the tracker device itself is not quite picking up on the exact spot of that. So I will draw one out for you here too, much like what Justin was just doing a moment ago, right from the center of that, and we'll work out about 45 miles an hour. Is that what we're still saying?
Yes. Okay,
so this might just miss a little bit, so we'll have to just zoom that and try the tracker one more time on there. But again, likely along the same path here for us and moving to the east at a quick pace. So 45 miles an hour puts it right back in towards London here. Within a very short amount of time, another 20 minutes tops for the London area, where this rotation, which could possibly have a tornado, not confirmed at this time, but could be yet another one that we're dealing with as it moves in. One quick more note on that. Let's just see what this has to say about it. The debris detector is not showing anything close to what we saw for this last one. See how these colors are pretty close together? And then we go over to the confirmed tornado zone over here, and we have what looks like more of a debris signature. Not seeing the same thing. Good sign, but still 70 to 80 mile an hour winds are going to be possible. A quick backtrack over to what we've got just behind this, a severe thunderstorm warning with considerable tag on it, all from Richmond down towards Russell Springs. Everything within this could see potentially destructive straight line winds, 60 to 80 miles an hour suggested within that. Some reports getting into that zone. So tornado warning confirmed, tornado warning radar indicated, and then followed up by straight line 70+ mile an hour winds. A recipe for complete disaster, no doubt, as it continues along our southern parkways into the next couple of hours. This is at least another hour-long event, if not 2 hours here. We won't see the rest of this move out until we get a little bit closer towards 2 a.m. Justin, did you have any new updates? Do you want me to throw a little quick radar loop on this and see what it kind of looks like here over the next couple of hours, where it tracks? Or do you have something more for us? Okay, let's take a look at that. This is going to be a future radar product for us for both of these storms. So the pair of tornado warnings that we have now, if we put this into motion, here's where they go over the course of the next 2-3 hours. Moving sort of more north to northeast as they come through, puts them up towards the Hazard and Heinemann areas here in the next 2 to 3 hours. Running into each other possibly too. We'll see how that plays out. Then there's the straight line winds coming in from that. So there is still a lot going on with this setup here, and we can't leave those tornado warnings, like Justin said a moment ago, by any means, because there is certainly a lot to watch with these two storms. Do you have any direct update on that confirmed warning there? Justin, what are we seeing out of that storm? Looks like it's starting to get closer to that county line there, between Laurel and Clay.
It is starting to, well, it's right there on the county line. You're right, Laurel, Clay County line here. You can see they've trimmed back. The back edge of the purple blinking box is where we have the confirmed tornado warning, okay? That's for the one that's now in the eastern part of Laurel County, right along the Hal Rogers Parkway here. You see this hook at the bottom here, that signature right in this zone. And this is a rural area, so hard to find some smaller communities, but there's some are there, okay? Marydale, Lida, Lake, Bush, but right there in Marydale, right along the Hal Rogers Parkway when you're riding out of Laurel County into Clay County. So next in line, this is going to be taking it very close to Lake, Bush. I mentioned Marydale, Pigeon Roost, so we're over into Clay County here. The Hooker community, this will keep going eastbound toward Haima, Garrett, over to Blue Hole, coming close to Manchester, okay? And that is the path of it. Let me look back inside the storm here. It had been cycling, still intense. Couplet showing up there, right there on the county line. And let's look back at our debris detector again. It's less defined than it was, but I'm not saying that it's lifted yet, because sometimes this can start to get noisy with other things happening, okay? But you see where this green is showing up, a little bit of a drop still in the CC here, a drop in a lower value, likely still indicating that right there on the county line that we still do have a tornado that's showing up. We'll go back again to another product, our shear bay, strong rotation right there on the county line, moving due east along Hal Rogers into US 80, US 421, where it meets up here into Manchester. It is coming your way, and that latest movement is still off to the east there, off to the east at 45. So as I do that, let me look and see if we have any storm reports that are showing up in this zone. This was back off to the west, and I think that was actually from storms this morning that we had several trees that were obviously reported down with storms that were earlier today. But here is the path and the track that we'll put for this storm. There's the latest scan. It showed the rotation weakening a bit, but it's still there, all right? And we're going to stay with this because of the history that this storm has had, producing a tornado and doing damage in Somerset, Ferguson area. Likely did damage as it kept moving east, because we saw that it was still on the ground, eastern Pulaski, over into Laurel County, and now it's crossing into Clay, as we told you. So it is on top of Bush right now, okay? It's there. Urban, couple of minutes. Pigeon Roost, I said a minute ago, 12:08. Blue Hole, that's going to put in about 12:12. Manchester, 12:12.
Yeah, and just not to forget about the rest of the folks across the viewing area.
Right.
We've got some spots that we can give the all clear to, I think, here for tonight. So why don't we just take a quick, brief break, and we'll get right back on those storms in a minute. Everybody that's outside the warning box now here in places like Fayette County, obviously Franklin County, all the way down even towards Danville and Boyle County, the strongest of the storms are wrapping up in those areas. You're not in a severe warning anymore. Even now, close to Fleming County and Moorhead, folks, heavy rainfall, frequent lightning, so don't go running around outside by any means. It is midnight after all, but still getting some all clears for those places. Richmond, just some rain now, so safe to say you might catch a little gusty wind off the back end of this severe storm that is now to your east. But the main threats for us here the rest of tonight is going to be this line that is attached to the severe thunderstorm warning and the tornado warning that's back in Pulaski and Somerset, and then the supercell that has been this thing has almost traveled the entire state by this point, folks, and it has a tornado warning on it the entire way. It is stealing the show, no doubt, and it will try to make its way all the way through the state if it can here the rest of tonight. But some showers and storms out in front of it could be helpful in deterring that from keeping its strength. So these are actually slightly good signs. Still some heavy rain there, but that could help us out if it can get in front of that enough to cut off its flow. Either way, this line of storms that is working in is a severe thunderstorm warning till 12:15, and for places like Jackson County all the way from Wolf, Breathitt, portions of Lee County, and then we're talking Laurel and Pulaski, and of course Rock Castle. Still 60-mile-an-hour winds, straight line winds, and a torrential rainfall with that one. And then we go back just a little further towards Russell County again and into Casey County, and this one is a destructive severe thunderstorm warning for Russell. That's 11:30 a.m. for Central Time. Eastern Time, it's at 12:30, and that is going to be for wind gusts upwards of 80 miles an hour possible, and it's going right across our southern parkways into the zones where we have those tornado warnings. So that is the latest update. Again, folks to the north and west, you are all clear from the severe here for the rest of tonight. Can't rule out some rain still funneling through for some areas outside of that warning, but the main event has now moved in, of course, has been through southern Kentucky here through most of the night. Quick update here for you on those two tornado warned storms to give Justin just a short little breather there. A lot of updates from that. Taking a look now at the latest storm relative velocity scan. We've got two areas that are extremely notable here for us as we have the confirmed tornado warning that's just south of the Hal Rogers Parkway. It's just now trying to move just south of Manchester. If you are here, you need to be down in your safe space, and you needed to be there 10 minutes ago. This thing is rolling through, and it will be there in the next couple of minutes if it's not already knocking on the door. And this one has been producing widespread and significant damage in places like Somerset from earlier this evening and is working towards Manchester. So get down, get safe. London, you're outside of a tornado warning right now, but that's not to say you won't see another one very shortly. You are in the severe thunderstorm warning. If it seems quiet, it's not time to get out. More coming behind it. A couple more hours before this event gets done. And then we've got this one just south of Highway 80 here in eastern Pulaski County, working into Laurel County again. Good news on the latest scan for that one. It does look like the rotation has weakened slightly. It's a bit more broad. Still a little bit of a couplet there. That's what we look for when we talk about it. Of course, as we talk about it, it happens. There's the new tornado warning. Now again covering London. In fact, Justin, look at this. They have the tornado warning from the rotation in Pulaski County that's going to get into Laurel County here in just a few minutes. This is now until 1 a.m., but it also includes into portions of Clay County for parts of that storm here, on top of the confirmed tornado that's already in place. So you are trapped in your safe place. You need to stay there at least until 1 a.m. this morning. We got to give you the all clear before you can be going out, because we have a confirmed tornado warning, another storm with rotation, a potential tornado training over the exact same spots, areas already with damage, still under the fire here as we roll into tonight. And we've got at least another hour of this as this next tornado warning comes through. This is a significant event, folks, and this is impressive to say the least. I hope everybody is staying safe and heeding these warnings. We're likely seeing lots of power outages too. So if you're joining us on Facebook or on our app, we'll keep you updated. We'll stay with you here until these are up, because no doubt this is a very likely to be a heartbreaking event for a lot of people down there in southern Kentucky. Justin, what are you seeing there on the radar that you're showing?
Well, I was having to look a little deeper in here now to still be able to find, because a moment ago I told you it was getting a little noisy on the debris detector. It doesn't look as pronounced as it was, but if I line this up right here, we're in Clay County. We're running just to the south of the Hal Rogers Parkway here, okay? And this is Manchester. So if I turn back on the velocity, you'll see how that lines up right there with the couplet. So we still likely have a tornado on the ground here going into Clay County. Let me give you some smaller communities again right in the heart of this. I called this out earlier. Pigeon Roost, it's on top of you right now, okay? If the tornado, Pigeon Roost, Heimup, Blue Hole, Garrett community, you only have seconds, okay, to get to your safe place until the storm obviously passes you by, and then you can come out, okay? But we don't want that right now. As far north, to be honest, as Littleton, including Manchester, and as far south, again, because this could turn a little, but it's likely going to stay north of some of these other smaller communities. Let me see. This is going to stay north of Bright Shade, and this is going to stay north of Ogle. Very close to Lincoln, though, okay? So still close enough by that everybody in the central part of Clay County needs to be into an interior room. Justin?
We have a third tornado warning now. Coming up for Russell County. Okay. Again, a new one. It's over Russell Springs, another area that had rotation and a potential funnel cloud earlier this evening. And now there is another signature of some possible rotation working into and heading towards Russell Springs. And this is inside of that severe thunderstorm warning box that is destructive, ratings of upwards of 80-mile-an-hour winds possible in that. And that's until 12:45 a.m. Now, this is kind of a in-between zone for us. Russell County, start getting into Wayne County. We have a hard time hitting this properly with our radar beams because they're all about equidistant from that spot. But there is rotation being picked up there, and we're going to try to show you that as well. If we go from Jackson, it's going to be very murky because we've got multiple zones with radar stuff and storms getting in the way of that. So if we try to get it from the Louisville one, it's not great looking rotation, which is a good sign. That means maybe not so much in terms of funnel or anything developing in that zone, but we do have that threat here in Russell Springs to still deal with. Again, a little closer view. If anything else, significant straight line wind potential with this as it comes through. Justin.
I think we have another tornado on the ground, this one that's coming out of Somerset into Laurel County. Watch how the debris all of a sudden goes. The CC, watch how it went from nothing there, and then you start seeing the shade of blue as it crossed, and then it kind of got a little bit weaker. Yeah. So
could have been a quick pop-up, drop-down situation.
It could be one of those, because this is obviously an area that first had the other storm that worked over that area, and it's training the same zone. They have not confirmed that, but from someone in person. But we're looking at that signature, and we need everyone in Laurel County again, because it's crossing there, needs to treat this a second one seriously.
Well, and not only that, but if we look at velocity again, okay, good, we've got a signature of the debris tracker, which is one thing for sure, but we actually have a couple of zones. Here's the spot that he just showed you on velocity's reading. Again, we've got radar going towards, they just confirmed it, Justin. They just put a warning of confirmed tornado on there. So that is, once again, just training over the same spots. We've got one area of rotation and then a secondary one. We might have a couple of opportunities within the same cell. Can't confirm that there's two on the ground in Pulaski County right now. Certainly can confirm that there is one, but the opportunity for maybe a double rotation, a double tornado event is showing up here for us, not to mention the confirmed one that's just south of Manchester. This is absolutely, this is the most life-threatening situation we could probably come up with. I don't have stronger wording than that, Justin. Do you have any other way of putting it other than this is 3 potential tornadoes in a row going over the same spots over and over?
I'm just like seeing more videos of these storms like earlier. I do not.
It's incredible.
You can't stress that enough, like you said. When we have one on the ground that's south of Manchester, another one that is confirmed that's on the ground on the county line, Pulaski Laurel County line. Let me go back because it gets a little messy here with these. This is likely where we have our second tornado here. It's not as clear when you look at the debris signature again, but there it was. It was there, and then it kind of like lost it. It got like lofted. But looking back at the velocity picture here with this, if we have a tornado, it's on the county line there, just out of the, just east of Sandy Gap, east of Squibb. Here's Bernstadt. This would be it right here. If this is still it and still on the ground, it'd be in the western part of Laurel County right now. So everybody, obviously, in Laurel County, you're clear from the first tornado. It's east, okay? So you got cleared out once. This is where confirmed tornado for the first one is right now. Garrett, Blue Hole, the Botto community, Goose Rock, that one's moving east and it's going toward Peabody and Hector, and then following behind that is the one that's coming back in, and this one will go toward London. The other one, the first one passed on the south side of town. This one, if it still is on the ground and it was confirmed here, it will be moving toward the heart of downtown. Now I'm going to put a track right on the front edge of that. 45 still. Bernstadt 1221, East Bernstadt 1227. Same story in Pine Grove, Pittsburgh 1227, London 1228. Ferriston here at 1230, Maplesville 1232, and Brock at 1234. So again, that's for a second confirmed tornado that's coming out of Pulaski County and into Laurel County.
Yeah, just a quick note on that. That debris signature drop that we saw, that is what prompted the confirmed tornado warning. So we might not actually have eyes on it at this point with spotters on the ground like that first tornado that we did, but this one was because radar is really indicating some strong signatures that there's likely another tornado. And it's messy on velocity a little bit, but we've got these light blues and these reds coming together and in more than one place on that. So again, there is the best opportunity for this now moving into Laurel County. Actually, this last scan here, Justin, does look like it might be moving just a little bit further to more of a northeast track. So London, you still need to be down, but this might just skirt the northern side of it this time. At least
one?
Yeah, that second one that's in there, at least with that last scan that just came through. Of course, we'll have to see how that moves for us here. I think I'm losing battery again on this other one, but overall, that's what we're looking at. And just a quick touch, the Russell Springs County, again, looks just kind of like mainly straight line according to this, but still a tornado warning there for Russell Springs and Jamestown. And that could possibly get extended into Pulaski County again if it's showing the same signature. So tornado 1, south and east confirmed of Manchester right now. Tornado possible number 2, just moving into what looks like it's wobbling a little bit further north into northern Laurel County now, kind of towing the edge of that box. Just on southern parts of Rock Castle County. So folks on southern line, that Rock Castle Laurel line, you need to be down too. tornado warning or not, this thing is riding the edge of that. It's very possible that it works its way a little, wobble to the north, and then we have significant straight line winds and possibly another tornado 3 back in Russell County. Justin, latest details from you there.
I'm just looking here from the, on Twitter and social media, and just seeing some of these videos that I'll try to effort again of these tornadoes that are to the south that we're moving through earlier. You see this and you're like, it's never happened in an area that I've been covering like this. So you see it firsthand, and it looks like that they went not confirmed.
They just switched it back to confirmed.
They did switch it to confirmed?
It right back to confirmed, yep.
So
now we're talking about all the way out to like Hazard.
Yeah. They extended, so the
Holy
first
cow.
tornado warning here, this is Clay County again. So we're visiting that storm east of, just really kind of southeast of Manchester, or very close here. This is 421, US 421, and here's Hal Rogers Parkway. Here's Manchester. Just south of that is where confirmed tornado is still on the ground, working its way east at 45. So that will take it on the new warning down the line, and we're talking 30 minutes or more. That would eventually be Hayden, and then if it still holds together, it eventually would work its way into Perry County. On this track, it may go just south of Hazard, but it'd be close. All right, so they've already issued it, and this is the early indication here for people in Leslie County and for people in Perry County to obviously get to your safe place. All right, you may have not been awake when the storm was west, originating in Somerset and then working through the London area, and then now in Clay County, and now into, about to be here soon, going into Leslie County. So if you know anybody in Leslie County, Hayden area, central, the heart of Leslie County, call them, tell them there's a tornado on the ground back just to the southeast of Manchester, and it is coming your way. That gives them as much lead time as possible, okay? Same story even in Perry County. We just haven't really seen much of a fluctuation in this storm to where it's weakened enough that it stopped. So that's why they've extended it all the way out to Perry County. So if you know anybody in Perry County, Hazard, Vico area, you also need to give them a call and say, hey, there's a tornado a couple of counties back, but it is coming your direction, and it is still confirmed. We'll give you some smaller communities in here as the circulation, looking at the velocity, it's kind of tightened up again. We're looking right on top of Billy's Branch Road. So this is taking us right along US 421. Arnett's Fork Road. We're going to work our way Lost Fork Road. Little Double Creek Road. Peabody Community. So we're still in Clay County. South Highway 66, Rice's Fork Road. Again, all roads right in the path of a confirmed tornado. All right, this is in Clay County. Back to the west into Laurel County, where a confirmed tornado already came through there. That's the one that's east of Manchester. This one, again, has been fluctuating. As Justin was telling you, that the Weather Service issued it based on seeing an indication on the debris detector that we saw what looked like and likely was for a period there, debris that was being lofted and detected on the radar. Right now, that velocity, and see if we're still able to see any debris that's vivid or that's clear. We're not in this zone. But what we're going to do, because this second storm here has pulsed up and down, meaning gotten stronger and gotten a little bit weaker. It could spin up a tornado again in a hurry if it's not still on the ground. So London, I need everybody that hears me in London to go back to your safe place if you're not there right now, okay? And a great tool to have here is the Fox 56 weather app, okay? Because on that, you can go and watch us on a live stream. You don't have to worry about still wanting to watch us on TV. You can take it with you into your closet, into your basement, into your bathroom, into your hallway, into your safe place, and then we'll tell you obviously when it's the all clear to come out. But London, all the way back into the eastern part of Pulaski County, you're still in the warning, and that was for a secondary area behind this, right on top of the Squibb Sandy Gap area. So there was kind of two little zones here, one that was near Bernstadt in Laurel County, and the other that was back near the Squibb Squibb, and Sandy Gap. So 2 little spots here. This is back right along US 80 here. So we're coming back into Pulaski County, east of Stab, eastern part of Pulaski. All right. So I can give the second all clear for Somerset and Ferguson for the moment. That's east of there. But what's behind that, and Justin was talking about this earlier, is another tornado warning that is for Russell County. Now, I have to look at a different radar to even get a clean image out of that. That is definitely looking very, very broad, very ragged compared to what it did. If there's anything left, it's east of Jamestown here and east of Russell Springs and running basically on the county line from Russell, where Russell, Wayne, and also western Pulaski County come together. That's if there's anything still left on that. It definitely looks a whole lot weaker than what it did just a little bit ago. Let's give you, yeah,
I got
cancel that?
No, things, it looks good for right now, that warning. It looks like they have not extended it. They haven't said anything in the chats quite yet, but we're still.
Do you have a video?
I do have a video that I wanted to just quick show you if you have a second.
Go ahead.
To put up. If you guys could just take links one full. This is from Hunter on X. He posted this saying it was from the London area. Video of the tornado just about 20 minutes ago. And watch this as I pan through it. You can actually see right there, boom, power flash, likely a power pole, getting hit by that tornado as it rolled through, causing that flash. And you can even really closely at the bottom of the screen, look at this.
You can see the debris.
See sparks and debris flying. That's the kind of situation we're dealing with here with this tornado warned storm and these confirmed tornadoes rolling through. And over the same spots, we're likely to see more debris from already being launched up, being wrapped in again.
It's just, when you see videos like that, and obviously it gives you perspective, ground truth of what's happening. You see that and you're just left. You're less speechless, like you said earlier.
I have no words.
Because, all right, we're still on that storm because it's still on the ground. Every indication that it absolutely is. And it's right here. It's east now of Manchester, okay? So I can give people in downtown Manchester, in Burning Springs, the clear for now, okay? There are some more storms back to the west, but the rotation is east of those areas and far enough east that it is safer, okay? This is if the tornado's still on the ground, and it looks like it is. It's right on top of Arnett's Fork Road, Peabody. It's on your doorstep here. Bear Branch, Big Creek, Bob's Fork, going eastbound. This is gonna eventually go over, as I mentioned. We're about to cross the county line here very shortly into Leslie County. There's a new scan right there. Let me go back and look at the debris. It's there, okay? But again, we're in a more rural area and less buildings, less things that the tornado could pick up. Yeah, we have hills and mountainous terrain that's here, and likely obviously trees that are still coming through, and obviously homes, but less populated than it was back when it was going through Somerset. So some of the lofted debris may be less intense, and we're not getting as clear of a value on the radar as what we were back to the west. But we still want everybody to stay safe until we give you all clear, which we're not. So Eastern Clay, everybody Eastern Clay, Peabody community, all the way over to Jason, all the way to Hyden, and then down the line, which you still have a little time, is going to be taking it over toward the hazard area. Peyton, you have another shot of that tornado from earlier?
Yeah, actually two. Let's go ahead and start with this one. This is Hannah Jones sent this in to us and shared it with us of the tornado there in Pulaski County. Again, great pictures coming in. Thank you so much for sharing those with us so we can tell the weather story. We also have some new video that just came in. Going to roll this. It's hard to really see, but you can see it there when the lightning flashes, that tornado there in Somerset. And I want to ask my producer one more. Oh, Desiree Bowman is who sent this in. Thank you. Just wanted to shout her out. Thank you for sending this. Obviously, we want you to do so safely if you can, but help us tell the weather story by sharing some of this video. Again, this one's hard to see, but when the lightning flashes, it is very easy to see. Really quickly, been texting all my sources in Pulaski County. They are very much in active search mode, going around helping the folks down there in Somerset. We're trying to get updates from them, and we'll continue to work those sources as the night goes on. Justin?
And as if it wasn't enough already, we have a new tornado warning for Pulaski County now until 1 a.m. That same tornado warning that rolled from Russell County is now rolling into Somerset. And all the people that are out searching, all the people that are out looking through debris, we still need to get back down, because not only do we have the potential for a tornado, this is the storm that's also producing the potential of 80-mile-an-hour straight line winds and has the destructive tag of straight line wind damage potential on it. So going down here and taking a look, let's see if we can get a closer view of that as we get yet another opportunity for some tornadic activity. Almost impossible to see it with all of these other storms from the Jackson radar scene to Somerset in the way. We'll go from the Louisville site just to maybe catch a glimpse, but again, it's not a great look for us. There is a lot scattering this, likely just a precautionary opportunity for us here. We've got lots of greens and reds meeting together. I don't see anything with a tight circulation like what we have north of London, where there's like that couplet in the mix. But we do have some very bright colors here, maybe even a little further outside. Now, if we're coming from the Louisville radar beam on this one, it's going to be a little displaced from where it might actually be. So if we have some rotation showing up here, it's likely going to be further where that tornado box is because of the science of the radar beam coming in and hitting the storm. Regardless, inside this box, Somerset and Burnside, Pulaski County, and northern parts of Wayne County are in another tornado warning until 1 a.m. This is the storm that's racing very quickly to the east. In fact, another scan of it just showed that there might be a little bit of rotation here, actually just outside the box. Again, likely displaced because of where the radar is from the location of the storm. But Somerset, Ferguson, and Burnside, you're under fire again under this tornado warning for another line coming through. Absolutely dangerous stuff here. Justin.
It is, and let's see. I'm looking here at the whole line further east back in Laurel County. If you'll look close, right along this line here, there are a couple of spots that are standing out. Now they don't stand out as clear as the tornado that we know is still for sure on the ground. Look at this, east of, again, right at the, it's about to cross the county line again, Clay, Leslie County. So we know that. But we look here and you can clearly see the difference between the two. That's very evident on the velocity. You look back to the west and you get here into Laurel County. There is some broad rotation here, and you do still remain under a tornado warning because earlier there was that brief uptick where we saw on the radar at least that rotation detector. Let me go back because this will help tell the story a little bit better if I give you a loop, okay? Again, we're going back in time a bit. This is why they issued this second warning for Pulaski County. It was because of this right here. This was the radar detecting quick spin up tornado that likely led to more debris. This was east of Somerset. Then it went to Laurel County, and so they said, okay, we're going to issue a confirmed tornado warning. Then that basically dissolved. We didn't see it there. And then where we are right now, the current frame, we don't see debris, but when you look at the radar and still look back inside of this, you can still see there is some broad here south of Cumberland Parkway, west of London. Again, in a rural part of Laurel County, there still is broad rotation to the degree that you need to stay hunkered down, okay? It may not be as loud as it was earlier. It may not obviously sound as windy, but something else I want to do is I want to turn on all the lightning, because oftentimes, lightning, a greater concentration near where we have that rotation can sometimes obviously be more of an indication of stronger updrafts, all right? So we look here where we still for sure have a tornado. Look at all the lightning still associated with that. The second storm that's coming into London right now, look at the explosion of lightning there. And then things get more scattered back over into Somerset, west of there toward Russell Springs, and right along the western part of Pulaski County, another kind of uptick in lightning. That is not always a true indicator, but sometimes you can look in those zones and see that there is a potential for a stronger updraft. So if you kind of look at that same zone, stronger part of the storm, there is rotation, and I'll kind of give you some of the smaller areas. Bernstadt, it's there if there's a tornado, all right? Bernstadt, this would be coming into London here very soon, all right? So that's why I'm saying stay hunkered down. And even in London, the winds were really just gusty moments ago. Look on the leading edge of this. It doesn't look, it shows 30, but we're looking at storm relative velocity here. We're talking likely still some gusts there that were likely well over 50 miles per hour. They still do have that tornado warning till 1 a.m. for Laurel County. So we've still got basically about 30 more minutes on that. So I'll just do a track on where I see this batch of rotation, and it's moving still 45. I mean, they're just lining up. So that's on Pittsburgh, London, a couple of minutes from now. If there's still a tornado, it would be in downtown London at 12:39. All right. Then Brock, 12:45. Communities we called out from the tornado that's over into now crossing into Leslie County. Deer Lick, 12:49. And down toward Delita community again toward 12:50. All right. So let me clear all that off. We're just going to do a quick little reset here. There was a line of storms that's trying to catch where we had some of these individual cells that were out ahead of this, okay? It's catching up to the storm that still has a tornado confirmed in Leslie County now. The line of storms, the squall line, is starting to meet that and trying to catch up and overtake, all right? So when these merge together, when some of these cells and lines merge, you can get an intensification. So we still have a little bit of a tail, a little bit of a hook where I was telling you toward Bernstadt. Then you clearly can see the hook that was over into Clay County. For people watching further north where we don't have tornado warnings, Justin said this earlier, but central Kentucky, we're clear. When I'm talking like Paris, we're dry. Cynthiana, Georgetown, Carlisle, dry, clear. Severe threats over. Lexington, severe threats over. Lawrenceburg, Frankfort, it's over. Heavier rain still in Harrodsburg, but that is not severe. Severe is to the south. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning that does include portions of Lee and Owsley County, but I'll tell you, strongest part of that is Boonville East now. So Beattyville, it's much weaker. Campton, still a strong storm, so is West Liberty, and that snakes all the way down into London where we have those tornado warnings, and all the way back to Somerset too. Justin.
And just to get a close-up of that confirmed tornado warning now, Hayden, it's time to get down if you're not already, because this thing it looks like it has once again intensified a little bit in the latest scan. Greens and reds meeting very tight, very strong couplet, very good rotation in there to indicate that is still a tornado on the ground. It's south of 421 right now, and it is working right towards Hayden there in Leslie County. That confirmed tornado warning till 1 a.m., but we are just minutes away from that, making it into what could be right in the heart of the Hayden community. So get down, get safe. Now's the time. That's going to continue to track even into portions there of Perry County, possibly heading towards Hazard as well. So just watching that one, I mean, that intensification is impressive. Do we have a new debris detector? Let's take a look here. So the intensification of that.
See it just west?
Right here?
Mm-hmm. Like the smaller
this piece
ball
right
that's on the north side.
This little bit of blue right there is where we're seeing that confirmed tornado. This is coming in right here. So if we watch this and we go from that and get close to it, right across 421 here, just south of Jason, just south of Thousand Sticks, and moving directly towards Hayden. You guys, we're talking about a minute, 2 minutes tops as this thing works here, because it's going to the east-northeast at roughly 40 miles an hour, and any kind of wobble puts it right in the heart of Hayden here in the next couple minutes. Wendover, you're right in the mix of it too here. It could take a nice little turn to the south if it wishes, and you will be on top of it. It'll be on top of you as well. So this is our most threatening and most significant severe threat here for us in the next couple of minutes. Significant life-threatening tornado on the ground moving across 421 towards the Hayden area at this time. That debris detector is definitely showing where that is for us here currently in that storm. And like we said before, we've got a few more that are just off beyond that we're keeping a close eye on too, but that is the most important piece for us here as we roll through the rest of this. Now, we do have that severe thunderstorm warning and that tornado warning for back in Pulaski County. Again, that's still until 1 a.m. That was just a base warning for us for the velocity readings that we were getting out of there and the potential of some rotation in it. The latest scan does show that. Does look like, as Justin was just talking about, the storm's catching up and overtaking they might be taking any of the rotation out, sort of running it over to say, and is now going to turn into a straight line potential there in Somerset still. If we can, let's go just take a look outside of Somerset, see what our camera has to offer us here this evening, as it does look like just heavy rainfall, frequent lightning coming through with this as it works into Pulaski County. And again, an area that was hit with significant damage already from at least one tornado and possibly a second. Now we're just getting the heavy pouring rains, frequent lightning, possibly some hail and strong winds to go along with it again. So that is where we currently sit with those warnings. Again, these are the main stories that we need to tell for you here the rest of tonight. Hayden, though, is the main one here. Going back quick to London, we can see that there is still a bit of some rotation that is of concern for us as we look, and it does look like we are getting even closer here. This is where I would expect to see some of that rotation. Again, we've got sort of a mixture of rotation towards there, away here. Not incredibly good, solid, and tight rotation with it, but Sublimity City, between that and London, just north of Pine Grove there. If there is a possible tornado on the ground with this tornado warning, that's where we would see it, just a couple, maybe a mile or two west of that area there. And of course, these are the main ones we got to keep an eye on here as the night goes on. As Justin was just saying, a lot of the stuff off to the northwest is done, and now we have this one. So, Justin, do you have more details to follow up with on those storms there? We're really just watching that one that's going through towards Hayden now. I mean, that is our confirmed tornado still on the ground.
Still the one of the hour here. Was looking at some of the data kind of here behind the scenes still, and still looking right along 421 Hal Rogers Parkway, just along that and very close to Hayden. So it is going to be there within the next couple of minutes. All right, so anybody that's living in the Hayden area, you need to be lowest floor of your home, away from windows. I can't stress that enough, okay? And if it keeps on its track, it's gone through kind of some phases in the last, I would say, like 15 to 30 minutes where it's kind of weakened. But for the most part, it's been pretty steady all the way. And you know, this storm is originating back in Paducah. I mean, this storm has literally had rotation all the way almost across the entire state of Kentucky from west to east. Let me look back here at like the debris detector. Still seeing some of that right there coming in here to Hayden right now. So tornado confirmed the last time that we had checked, and the Weather Service still agreed to that it would be right here. All right. So, and it's coming into Hayden as we speak. And Justin was talking about that a moment ago. I can also kind of just show you the path of our 1 hour. Look how this is tracked over the last hour here. This is our strong shear. So in the last hour, look at the path that it's taken all the way back to London. And then beyond that, obviously, it went back into Somerset, and then it's just been tracking this whole way here to its current point, which puts it right there on top of Hayden. So you need to be hunkered down, safe place. You know where that is in your home. Basement interior room, again, away from windows until that storm is obviously past you and that we give you the all clear, but we're not there yet. You can see the hook still there, still pronounced, still looking at the inflow coming in to the thunderstorm here, and rear flank downdraft on the back side. So we're getting obviously the clear rotation that's still there, and our tornado would be here. Okay, so it's like on top of Hayden, and that all lines up when you look inside of the winds right there. Everything that I just was drawing, the circle basically right there in the heart of that, which travels right along 421. So we have that and a path at 45, still been moving at 45. The speed has been pretty steady. Let me double check. I can read on here as we're going through some of the times on that latest warning. I want to give you the actual speed and make sure that that is still actually going at 45. Still confirmed tornado hail on the north side of this. Could get up larger, up to golf ball size hail, moving east at now 40. So slowed down very slightly, okay, 45 to 40, but still giving it on this track that gives you as much lead time as we can. The Wendover area, and I remember Justin was mentioning this a moment ago, it's a couple of minutes, 1244. Toulouse area, 1246. Wooten, 1248. We'll just keep going down the list here. Frew, 1252. Farler at 1255. And that, Farler is still going to be, actually over into, I'm trying to find it on my list there. That's actually over into Perry County. So we'll be crossing out of Leslie and going over into Perry. So that's confirmed tornado 1. Back to the west. Did they say in the chat, are they still confirming the Laurel County or no? So
the Laurel County tornado warning has actually been dropped from confirmed down to what we would call like a base tornado warning, meaning it's just radar indicated potential for some spinning still. But when we go and look at this last run here, Justin, I think things are shaping up to be less rotation driven and a little bit more straight line driven. You were mentioning before that the line that was racing in from the west is catching up to these couple of cells that kind of dominated the atmosphere out in front of that main line. Once it caught up, it basically kind of absorbed it, grabbed onto it, and now he's going to force it to be more of a straight line threat. Didn't take down the warning yet just because of some of the little bit of rotation that we're still seeing here. But as we look at this scan now, I can say with confidence that the rotation does look like it's letting up a little bit. Now, again, it doesn't mean it won't maybe tighten, re-strengthen as it works back into the east here, but all in all, there's a couple of little spots that might have it, but this one back towards London now that's going to be moving back into Clay County shortly does look like it has weakened quite a bit. We've got one little area of some rotation here. This is just east of London now and north of that Southern Parkway there. It's going to have just a little greens and reds coming together that we might have a little bit of that rotation from. But even working back further west than that, the Pulaski County tornado warning that we had until 1 a.m. was canceled. They've stripped it away. The rotation is pretty much left, and there's just a straight line wind threat for them. Again, radar is getting very muddled here because we have so many storms so close to the Jackson radar scene that is not showing as well here for us and is likely cutting into that. Now, certainly still some straight line wind potential with that storm in Somerset, but the heaviest of the rain is starting to work into southern Pulaski and moving out, which is a good sign for us here, and that is going to continue to produce some heavier rainfall and some damaging winds. But if we go back just a little bit and watch as I put this Louisville radar up, it does look like the leading edge of that storm is starting to work away. Good sign for our folks that have already had what has been a very long and likely devastating night in the Somerset community. Some rain still expected for you here. Give it another half hour to an hour, and then we will start to see the calm come in. Just as a standard look for you here, I'm going to show you the future radar of everything. We're almost done with our set here for tonight, and we will soon be able to relax and breathe easy again. 12:45 right now. And I'll put this into motion for you, and you'll see that this whole line of storms getting out of Pulaski here in the next hour or so, still with some rain, but the main line is just going to work into eastern Kentucky. We're still looking at 2, maybe 2:30 in the morning, just on the fringe of the Fox 56 viewing area, and trying to work into Virginia and West Virginia as it continues to move on. So that's what we have here, just a few more hours of the heavy stuff. The heaviest of stuff is working out, and it looks like soon we'll be able to get you guys back up out of the safe space. Any new updates other than that, though? I know we still have tornado warnings in play.
Yeah. The one that you mentioned there is still going, it's on top of Hyden right now. The ones behind that, they still have one for Laurel County, but behind that, it's not confirmed in Laurel County anymore, okay? But the purple box that normally is confirmed, that's been canceled back here in Somerset, okay? No tornado warning anymore in Pulaski. No tornado warning west of London, okay? That's been dropped off. For some reason, it's not clearing out of our system, but it has been. The only confirmed tornado we have is in Leslie County as the last update, and they just updated this. The Weather Service did just moments ago with the new update. Still said it was confirmed, and then it was moving off to the east at 40 miles an hour. If we look here at the velocity, it's still there, looking probably a little less pronounced actually than it did really 15 minutes ago, which is some good news, but not to say that it definitely couldn't re-intensify again. So still confirmed tornado on the ground though. Hayden, it's there, it's moving east, and it's going to continue to work its way out of Leslie County and into Perry County. So there are some of the communities I mentioned a moment ago. This is going to be working its way through Toulouse. There's Wendover right there. We mentioned that earlier. So Hayden to Wendover to Smilax to Daly. There's Toulouse to the north and Wooten, and also into Frew. This is getting looks a little bit more ragged, but they are still saying that there is a confirmed tornado. So seeing a little bit less indication, but we're going to watch that. Everybody in Leslie, Still, and Perry counties need to be in your safe place, lowest floor of your home, until we give you the all clear on that. Hayden, it's just moving east, so here soon it'll be out of your area, and we'll give you the all clear on that, but not just yet. Peyton?
Yeah, guys, hey, we're waiting on a phoner in just a second. Okay. We're going to do that. But first, I do have an update, actually, from Kentucky State Police, Post 11, which is London, but they also cover Pulaski County as well. Kentucky State Police telling us that they are responding to calls as quickly as they can. They're asking people to be patient and just be patient with their 911 dispatchers. But they're saying if you do have an emergency, please call 911, but only call 911 if it's an emergency to free up those phone lines if you can. They say their dispatchers are working diligently to respond to every call in a timely manner, and they're asking people to check on their neighbors. So good advice there from Kentucky State Police down at Post 11. We're going to continue to reach out to them. We're also trying to get on the phone with someone who's in Somerset, in the area of some of the hardest hit areas right there, in just a moment. So Justin, hopefully we can get that phone call up in just a second. We'll check back in just a moment.
Okay, thanks Peyton for that update. So what we're still looking at is 2 tornado warnings. The one back in London, I think that's going to be allowed to expire. I don't see a whole lot still left there. If you look back at the radar picture, there's still a slight appendage on the south side that's between Corbin and London, actually. And if I look back and kind of correlate that, there really is not much showing up in that zone. Did you have something?
Quick note, there was one emergency management person that was in portions of Tuttle, Kentucky, which is in southern Laurel County, still saying that there was tornado in that location. Not sure how much visibility that was, but a suggestion from a Skywarn member that there could potentially still be some rotation in that appendage that you were just talking about.
Okay. All right. Well, it absolutely definitely bears watching here as we watch these storms continue to race east. But in time, watch how that line, as Justin mentioned a moment ago, out to the west was the squall line back to the west, and then here was the storm out ahead of it, and they're pretty much merging right now on London or just to the east of it. Still pretty stout storm though. I mean, regardless, heavy rain, frequent flashes of light. Look at all the lightning associated with that. I mean, people in this area, east of London, near London, just south of London, going east on the Parkway, we had a confirmed tornado. People are out trying to pick up pieces and damage when we have more storms that are coming through. You work your way over into Manchester. It is pouring the rain. The farther north of Manchester you go in Clay County, still talking about at least some strong storms there, okay? But not seeing at least any rotation on that part anymore. Look at the storm out east and east of Hayden. Like that rotation has really started to drop.
Yeah, quite a bit of loosening there.
And I'm hoping that trend continues.
That'd be
nice.
If
that happens, we may, and I stress that, may finally be seeing this weekend.
Yeah, or at least form into that line you were talking about,
right.
And as it moves east, the rotation piece kind of gets plucked out of the storm as it moves forward.
And it overtakes it, you're right.
Yeah, so that's hopefully what we're seeing there. Now, just a quick note of the history of the storm. Some county power outages mapped for you here just to show areas that have been hit. These numbers are probably a little on the low side compared to what we should probably be seeing with multiple tornadoes tracking across southern Kentucky. But we have thousands and thousands of customers across the state, across the region without power. Parts of some bigger metropolitan areas that were hit with some significant winds, like the Louisville Metro at 28,000 Bowling Green had some 60+ mile-an-hour winds come through too. And of course, we've had here in Fayette County now 2,500 customers without power. This is just a side piece to all of the action that we've seen. Of course, we've had some destructive winds coming through, and of course our confirmed tornadoes. So just kind of a history of the storms that they've blown through. Most of this has come in the latter half of the day when we've had this line of storms work into the region. So we'll keep an eye out on that, of course, as the night rolls on. A lot of folks are going to be without power, and obviously as cleanup efforts get going tomorrow. The good news I can tell you is that the weekend, dry, clear and cooler, and so as cleanup efforts get underway, at least Mother Nature will leave you alone during that piece. Justin?
Yeah, Peyton, or do you have that? You're still efforting to get it dialed up?
Okay. On that. Yep.
All right, we're working to get a phoner from someone that is in Somerset right now that is going to be giving us a rundown of what they're seeing there, and then we're also efforting to try to get a hold of some power companies in the area so we can give you another update on obviously where that stands on repairing things. Let me go back to our normal standard reflectivity product on radar, okay? There's a lot of blinking on here. There are flash flood warnings in the green. Yellow or the orange here is where we have severe thunderstorms. And then the purple is where there's confirmed tornado. Red is where we have a just general tornado warning where radar indicated rotation, but it had not been confirmed. And that still the part through Laurel County. The only one that we still have confirmed, and it looks like right now, did they just replace it with a severe thunderstorm warning?
Yeah, they replaced the confirmed tornado warning down to what is now a base tornado warning, like we talked about.
Oh, they did, okay.
And they extended the severe thunderstorm warning over that to cover the end of the base tornado warning. So really seeing a weakening in the rotation. They have now dropped the confirmed tag.
Okay, so that you just heard there, that is some good news. But with those, oftentimes with tornadoes that at least have had the history of producing a tornado for so long, it could spin up again. Let's hope that has happened. That's why they left for part of it, still just east of Hayden, and it'll eventually cross over into Perry County here. Still treat this like there is a tornado on the ground, even though they dropped the confirmed tag, because we could see it intensify again, even though it has weakened a bit, which is the first time that we've been able to say that for hours. All right, Peyton, you have the phoner now?
Yeah, so we're having some technical difficulties, so I'm just going to do this the old-fashioned way. One of our friends and former producer here at Fox 56, Hannah Jackson, lives down in the Somerset area, and she's been seeing some of that damage firsthand. Hannah, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, Hannah, can you just walk us through what you've been seeing? I know you've talked about a lot of damage, trees, power lines down. What have you been seeing down in Somerset this evening?
Right. So we were able to get out in between kind of these storms that are rolling through. All the traffic lights down 27 are out. Electricity's out with down power lines. First responders have Parker Mill Road completely shut off, and it looked like they were getting ready to close down Enterprise Drive, which is right there by Southern Middle School behind the mall. We saw one building completely had its roof ripped off. So there's some damages to that, but it's mainly just first responders trying to control traffic right now because all the lights are out, just making sure everybody's safe.
Yeah, have you been able to talk with anybody, any of your friends or anything that has been impacted?
I haven't. I know a lot of people are taking shelter right now, just trying to stay weather aware and make sure that they're safe during this time. But I know that the first responders are working hard to make sure that everything's taken care of. The down power lines are not active, so they're getting that taken care of right now.
Yeah, and we're looking at some of the video you shot just moments ago right now, seeing a lot of those trees and power lines down, seeing a lot of those emergency vehicles. Can you talk more about that emergency response that you were seeing?
Yes, there's a lot of state troopers, a lot of EMS and fire marshals out. They are blocking off 914, the intersection of 27, kind of just trying to get people away from the area because all of that down 27 through the mall and Baxter's on the south end of town is has some damage. So they're just trying to get everybody out of the way so they can assess the damage and make sure all those power lines are off, to make sure that nobody is injured, on top of the building damage.
Yeah, Hannah, well, thank you so much for these pictures you've been sending in to us. We really appreciate it, and thank you so much for, again, the pictures and taking the time to talk with us. And, of course, stay safe and keep us updated, but most importantly, stay safe, and we're praying for those communities down there. Hannah Jackson, thank you so much. Justin.
Yeah, and I just want to show you guys this other picture too. Chris Johnson shared this on Facebook, meteorologist here with Fox 56, Perfect. Of course. This is a view of the air evac and PHI medical chopper destroyed at the London Corbin Airport from tornadoes earlier tonight. The destruction is catastrophic, no doubt, and a very just speechless to look at a picture like this and see the damage that these tornadoes have caused as they've rolled through the area here earlier tonight. So the courtesy of that photo can be found on Chris Johnson's Facebook page with that. Justin?
Yeah, I had another picture that someone that I'll try to get up in a minute that a viewer sent me a moment ago from Perry County and said that he had, it was debris that was falling from the tornado before it even got to Perry County, which is the one that's still warned down across portions of Leslie County. Let me zoom back into the radar as we're looking at the wide view again. A lot of these warnings back to the west have been allowed to expire. I know they're still here. They've not dropped off out of our system yet, so that does look a little confusing to you, I'm sure, at home, as it does to us as well. Where we're looking at the original tornado that was confirmed earlier, the long track, this is it right here. If there is a tornado still left, it's crossing out now out of Leslie County into Perry County, okay? The northern part of this, where the heavy rain and potentially some hail is closer to hazard. If we still have a tornado in Perry County, this would be it right here. I'll give you some of the smaller communities here. Viper, Dow, Farler, Jeff, Fasonia, this is where it would be, okay? That little uptick in lightning here, but you can also see where the reds and greens are next to each other. This is Right Fork Maces Creek Road, and that's going to go over toward Left Fork Maces Creek Road. So in this area of Perry County, still be in your safe spot, okay, until this continues to weaken, until they fully drop the tornado warning, okay? It looks like we still do have that going, and you can still see that notch that's on the southern flank of that. Peyton, do you have something else?
Yeah, actually, one of our reporters right now, Jaso Bartow, is on his way to Pulaski County to give us some live pic. Oh, we may have just lost his shot, so we'll stand by on that. I'm not sure. We may have, obviously, signal is a little bit hard to come by right now. Looks like we may have just gotten it back, so we'll see if we can take his shot. Jace, can you hear us? Jace, can you hear us? All right, we'll try again in a little bit. Looks like we lost Jace's shot, but again, one of our reporters is headed down that way, so we'll continue to stay with him, get the latest from him as he heads towards Somerset right now. Justin.
Yeah, thanks, Peyton. Yeah, just taking one more look at these storms as we watch these updates as we go through here for the rest of the night. There they go, 1 a.m. now. All of those tornado warnings have since been allowed to expire. We just have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings left in their place. So we're talking about in Knott County, Letcher County, and still in Perry County, where we have that little bit of a hook echo that's coming through to suggest still some rotation and potential tornadic activity. That's until 1:15 a.m. here for us now, just south of Hazard, where we have that. Then we have another severe thunderstorm warning for Perry, Leslie, and Clay counties until 1:30 for some strong wind gusts, 60, maybe even 70 miles an hour. The rest of the area here, the rest of that line that has come through will be allowed to hold tight here. You can see still some strong storms through the Corbin area, just in southern portions of Pulaski County, and still some more rain, lightning, and thunder moving into Pulaski County, but the severe threat for them quickly diminishing, not quite ready to give you the all clear yet. You're going to get some heavy rain still, so just be wary of that. But there are no more severe thunderstorm warnings in place for you. I want to make just a quick note. This storm right here, the one that has been tracking across almost the entire state of Kentucky, actually started in Missouri about 7 or 8 hours ago and was producing at that time tornadoes. So this supercell has been a long tracking tornadic storm throughout almost the better half of the day. Since 4 p.m. this thing has been producing tornadic activity. So it has been a significant storm nonetheless. We still again have that warning in place for 1:15 a.m. for those locations along that line. A couple more in there. We're so close to giving the all clear here. We're getting very close to it indeed. The rain showers are just following in behind that. The rest of this squall line again will sort of move in that pattern to the east as it tracks. So we're looking at maybe another hour or so of this storm setup being in Kentucky before it finally moves on. Again, if you're anywhere north and west of this, and Pulaski County and Somerset, folks, you're still expected to get a little bit of rain, but the severe threat's pretty much over there. Everything north of Jackson, McKee, and you start looking up north there, places like Moorhead, all of that is in the all clear. Now, the watch is going to be dropped off here as the night rolls on. Again, it goes till 3 a.m., and so they'll probably just cut it off as these storms move out, and we will see that threat over as we go into the weekend. But these are the last two storms that we're watching here for tonight, and again, with that line still working into southern Kentucky, we're going to hang on just for a little bit longer until we make the all clear call. But again, we want these storms to move on out. So here's our storm. This is the one that's been producing impressive tornadic activity all day. Still some rotation, still some hook. We have maybe a little bit here in portions of Clay County, but not as significant. Heavy rainfall in there. Turn the lightning layer on and you see. The good part here is that less lightning does mean maybe a bit of a downtick in the strength and severity of that storm. It's likely getting muddled by all these other storms trying to steal all of its energy as it works east. And then, of course, this storm here, that's in Manchester. Potential tornado was down there. We had a confirmed warning there for them just a few minutes ago. That has since expired. And now they have heavy rainfall, frequent lightning. The storm's not over for them. They're in Burning Springs either. And, of course, the Hayden area also in on that as well. So these are our last two severe warning storms at this time. As we roll through the rest of tonight, there's one more in far northeastern Kentucky, but the heavy rain has been the story that we really haven't had time to talk about for you here tonight. So there is some big flash flood warnings ongoing right now across the area, and we have had quite a bit of rain come through, and that's something that we can take a look at as well here if we go through just to kind of add on to it. Maybe I'm losing it here on the, actually, maybe it's under the national part. Here we go. The last 24 hours, the rainfall has been pretty impressive in a lot of areas. And you can see where we've had a swath of what will probably be, if we put a little marker on it, anywhere from 1 to 2 to 3+ inches in those areas. Most of this really coming in from the morning round and then this additional round here as well. So the potential for a little bit of flooding to go on with this is going to be in place for the next couple of hours as things run off overnight. Things will get drier for us into the rest of this weekend. Justin?
Just looking at some of these pictures and videos you see, thankfully we're finally starting to see the line, as Justin was just mentioning. Still stout. Still have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings on this here. Those are going through right now. Let me stop the loop because it's looping here. This is what it's been like over the last couple of hours. This is what's happening exactly right now. Let me turn off all the lightning so you can see things a little bit clearer too. So we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. This is for Clay County to 1:30. We also have parts of Leslie County to 1:30, Perry County, also into Knott County, and Letcher are till 1:15. And it's for this part of the storm here. See how this is like snakes together as a whole line that goes all the way back down to Corbin. Now, this is not considered severe right now, okay? We can look inside here and just see what potentially some of the straight line winds may be coming through, again, southern Kentucky. Things definitely are calmer than they were, at least not as intense as some of those storms were a little bit earlier. So on the leading edge of this, we may be talking about gusts upwards of like 40 miles an hour that are coming through Whitley County right now, over even into Knox County. But the good news is that we don't anymore have tornado warnings. Those have all since expired. But we wanted just to stay with you because we're still efforting to get some more video, but we're also trying to get an update from Jace Obardo and our photographer, Kaylee, that's on the way down there. They're going to give us, hopefully we'll be able to get with cell phone coverage a good firsthand picture of what it's doing or what it looks like down there. But still some strong storms on the leading edge, but the tornado watch is getting trimmed back. So areas across central Kentucky, we have been mostly here for the most part cleared out of the tornado watch, which is good. So the last of the severe is on this leading edge that goes down in southern Kentucky. And Somerset, it's heavy rain, or at least moderate to heavier doses of rain there, but that there is no longer severe weather there. The threat actually is past Pulaski County. The threat now, though, is actually still for some flooding. And Justin mentioned that a moment ago. There's a flash flood warning for Pulaski till 4:15. So some low-lying areas, obviously, secondary roads, obviously where we have some of those smaller streams and creeks away from town. All that water is rising up and it doesn't have anywhere to go all that quickly. Rockcastle County, flash flood warning till 4:15. Same thing in Jackson, same thing in Estill, same thing in Lee. So a number of counties under flood warnings, okay? Those are all to 4:15, but we only have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings that are left. Let me go back here. I want to throw on some of the damage reports. Okay, so some of these are some of the storm reports. Just look at all these. Now again, some of these are going back to early this morning and early afternoon when we had the storms that worked across southern Kentucky then. But the ones that came across central Kentucky, you can see this was at 11:10 p.m. A report of a 63-mile-per-hour wind gust 6 miles west of Lexington, and I do believe that was likely at the Bluegrass Airport. Yeah. Back out to the west, there was that wind gust at the Louisville International of 82 miles an hour. So those storms, that line did get a little weaker as it moved east from 82, but the southern part of it obviously stayed pretty stout and definitely, as we've seen, produced a long track tornado across southern Kentucky. This was from this morning. See, that was from the first wave of storms. This was earlier where the storm that came through Somerset, it produced a funnel cloud in Edmonton, Kentucky. Then it went through Adair County, then it went through Russell, and then it intensified and went through Pulaski, through Laurel, through Clay, and it just kept its track. That storm that's left, okay, right now, we're going to clear this off and turn off the storm reports real quick. This is where the cell is located right now, the one that produced the tornado, all right? This is what's left of it. There's not much, if any, there's really no rotation left. It just would be some gusty winds on the leading edge of that. So that's it. It just took, as Justin said, originated in Missouri and then went all the way across Kentucky and went all the way into at least Leslie County before it lifted. It may have even crossed over into Perry County, but for sure we saw rotation still in around Hyden earlier. So now at least there's the threat for tornadoes, at least at the moment, has ended. Peyton?
Yeah, we're getting some new video in, this time out of Laurel County. This is in the Sunshine Hills area. Let's go ahead and play this here. Look at all this damage out in Laurel County that we're seeing. You can see down trees. Looks like a home really ripped to shreds there, unfortunately. So a lot of damage coming out. Again, this is in the Sunshine Hills area. You can see cars damaged. This was provided to us by the Laurel County Fiscal Court, so the county government there. I mean, this car completely destroyed, all the windows blown out. You can see all the homes damaged here in the background. This is just some heartbreaking images that we are seeing come into our newsroom. Again, this is down in Laurel County from that tornado. A lot of folks just outside assessing the damage. We're hearing from officials not only in Somerset and in Pulaski County, but also in Laurel County saying, please stay home. Now is not the time to sightsee. They are saying in Somerset, at least right now, that the fire department is letting us know that it is very difficult for their crews to respond because of extra traffic on the roadways. So across the area, please stay home in a safe spot. We have downed trees, power lines. Some of those power lines could still be live. It's really a dangerous situation. And again, this is in Laurel County, just a heartbreaking scene of homes completely destroyed here and cars completely flipped over. And you can see those first responders out in the distance and everybody just gathering what they can. Look at these search and rescue crews. I mean, this is just heartbreaking images as they are going door to door trying to rescue folks. It's just heartbreaking. Not a lot to say. We'll be praying for these communities for sure, not only in Pulaski, but in Laurel counties and those surrounding areas. I mean, this is some of the most devastating video we've had into the newsroom so far this evening. Justin, it's just heartbreaking.
You see videos like that, and these are days that I got into a career as this to save lives in a situation like this. I've never in my 18-year career seen an area that I've covered that's been impacted like this by a confirmed tornado. So it just hits home, but we do this to keep people safe. And when you see that, if everybody, and we pray that everybody made it out and all that, after all that destruction that you see right there, it would be a blessing from God that people survived when you see videos like that.
Yeah, and Justin, I just want to say, look, if we can pull up that video just one more time. I know they have it playing here. Yeah, full screen. This looks a lot. I don't know if you remember back in 2012, Morgan County, West Liberty tornado, Justin.
Yeah.
I don't want to compare because every event is different. But at the same time, a lot of this damage reminds me of that. I actually had aunts and uncles down in Morgan County that their homes were destroyed. And I remember pictures just like this when we were helping them clean up and just salvage what they could. So from a personal standpoint, just looking at these pictures and these videos coming into us, that's the first thing that comes to mind for me. It's just devastating. Again, this is in the Summer Hills area of Laurel County, and we're just continuing to see these heartbreaking pictures. First responders, just want to say thank you to all of the first responders out there, our firefighters, EMS, police. I'm sure the National Guard will be out there in short order as well, helping respond to this. So thank you to all of our first responders who are really doing life-saving work right now, not only treating patients, but also out there going door to door, going through all the rubble, trying to find anyone that might be trapped or needs assistance. So thank you to all those folks out there working hard tonight. They're going to have a long night ahead and really a long next several days, if not weeks ahead. Seeing these pictures here, a lot of recovery coming up. So we're going to continue to show you some of these, continue to pray for these communities tonight, Justin. And good news is right now, though, at least we've seen those tornado warnings dissolve at this point. We're just dealing with some severe thunderstorm warnings, but now we're also dealing with heavy rain and even the potential for some flash flooding. Justin Esterly standing by with a look at that.
Yeah, just one more quick view of the live radar scene here. We're right on the edge of what is going to be the end of this event here. A significant event, no doubt. And they've both covered it well. I echo the same statements that they present for everybody that's been affected by this and those that are helping. Of course, these straight lines here of winds are still expected to move through. We just have about a minute until these warnings are over, and then we'll likely see them dropped, and we will see the rest of these showers and storms move on. We talked about this event for the last couple of days, and you know, sometimes these events don't pan out. This one did, and it was good if you took heed of the warnings, and it was good that we were able to at least get that information out in a quick way. So the end of this is near. Again, 1 minute till these warnings in far southeastern Kentucky drop off. I will just give you one more close look. Here we go from Heinemann down south towards Whitesburg is inside that warning right now. But from Manchester, London, You guys are now clear from the severe. Still some lightning, rain, thunder working in behind it as this system moves through. So some pockets of heavy rain there. Same story for everybody north up towards Campton, Frenchburg, Beattyville, Boonville. But our hardest hit areas there, like in Pulaski County as well. Still just, you're going to get in Somerset some more rain showers and some thunder and lightning. But the severe threat is pretty much over. The rest of this line moves on. Looks like this warning here is till 1:30, of course, for Leslie and portions of Clay County, southern Perry as well. So we've got 15 minutes left on that one. I'll send it over to Chief Meteorologist Justin Logan. Any other words, last words here before we move forward? Thoughts?
Yeah, we are efforting to try to get still some other videos. Yeah, but we have some other video I think that they're pulling in. But while you're doing that here, just that recap on the radar, I'm going to try to, I know we're throwing everything for a loop here, but I've got Apple TV up again, and when you get a chance, if you're able to pull that, I want to show a picture. This is from Scott Feltner as the debris that I was mentioning earlier that was falling on the Perry Breathitt line before the tornado storm arrived there. So this was from the confirmed tornado. It was a piece. It was looks like a piece of paper here that just landed on his back patio. I don't know if my phone may not be connected. That picture that he had.
Yeah, I think we shared it on our Facebook page, so just give me 1 second and I'll try to pull it up. Because I think we shared it to the Fox 56 News. Yeah, you're talking about this piece right here?
Yeah, and I can't tell what that is, but he said that clearly that obviously wasn't his, and it was lofted. It was just debris that was just carried from the storm. I mean, think about this, because after the fact's over, all right, we see pictures eventually.
Here you go.
Videos even. I remember I shared one not long ago. There it is, right there. Scott Feltner said, he sent me this picture and said that this was in where he lives on the Perry Breathitt County line of a piece of debris, something that wasn't his, that just landed there. Looks like it's a piece of paper that landed, somehow was not shredded in a tornado, but made it all the way to his house. So it just shows just the sheer destruction, but in the midst of that, how some things can stay intact. Like I saw a check that landed in someone's house from Arkansas all the way over into Evansville, Indiana, or in that ballpark. So we'll see pictures in the coming days and maybe even a week where people find something that wasn't theirs, that was started on the tornado in Missouri. It started all the way out there. So again, if you're just waking up again, we had a destructive tornado that worked across southern Kentucky. It went through Pulaski and Somerset. It went through Laurel County, going through parts of London. Then it worked its way out of Laurel County into Clay County. And so far, I've not had reports out of there. We haven't yet of some damage there, but we saw that there was still debris, and it was confirmed. Then it went into Leslie, and then that was when it finally looked like that it lifted. At the moment, still some strong storms from Williamsburg to Corbin to Barville right now, to just south of Manchester, to Hyden, to Hazard, to Hindman and Pikeville. This is the last line, okay? And there's only one severe thunderstorm warning that is left at this time. And are you ready to... Do you have video that you're going to show?
I think so. We're going to show that video in just a second. We're actually have some sound of a victim down in Laurel County, so we're going to try to get to that in just a second. I first have an update from Kentucky State Police. Kind of a different request. I've never seen this before, but they have... KSP Post 11, so that's London. They also covered some of those surrounding counties there, including Pulaski. They're saying we have numerous downed trees in our post area, and they require additional chainsaws to support our troopers and first responders in clearing roadways. They are trying to provide aid to those in need. If you have an extra chainsaw that they can borrow, they're asking you to deliver it to Post 11 in London as soon as possible, and they will ensure that they can return it as soon as possible. Never seen a request like that, but that just just goes to show you it's an all hands on deck situation. They're reaching out for the public's help. They do ask to please refrain from attempting to remove or drive over down power lines. So obviously, if it's not safe to do so to get to Post 11 to deliver some of those supplies, please don't. But they're asking for some support for their troopers. Right now, it's an all hands on deck as far as the response goes from first responders, not only police, but also firefighters and EMS. All right, do we have that sound, guys, in the control room? Just standing by. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can listen in to some of this really quickly.
So we went to the hallway, and we were in there maybe, what, 2 minutes? Because that's the closest areas we have. And then my husband and my son come running in and pretty much jumped on top of her because you could feel the air and everything stuck in, and it sounded like a train. And then we saw stuff falling, and the next thing we knew, he said most of the house was gone.
So what happened after the tornado hit? I mean,
well, nobody had shoes on, so they went looking for shoes, and they went out across the street. There's people injured. Of course, we searched for car keys. This was the only car we could find keys to, and it's almost destroyed. It's destroyed, but it started, and so now we're just trying to get out to get across town to my mom's basement. But my family's okay. I don't know about everybody else, but
well, your car is. Bet y'all made it out. Thank you.
All right, so some of that video there, that was someone that was hit by the tornado there. The good news, what we heard from her whole family is safe. So obviously we're continuing to follow that. These pictures from not only Pulaski but over into Laurel County as well. So just heartbreaking images coming out across the region tonight, especially our friends down to the south from Pulaski into Laurel County. We're going to continue to try to show you some of this video. And again, we have a crew that is almost on the scene in Somerset. Hopefully we'll be able to get an update from them in the next 10 minutes or so before we go back to programming. So we'll continue to follow up with them. Still seeing some warnings out there as well. Justin Esterly standing by over in the Weather Center with more. Justin.
Yeah, I just wanted to show you a couple of quick pictures here. These are things that are coming off of X. This is posted from the Laurel County area there near London. Deputy Alan Turner posted these photos here on there, and just look at the debris, the house that looks like it was flattened from there, kind of a more zoomed out version of it, likely where that tornado hit here earlier tonight. Roof torn off, trees snapped in half, debris just scattered everywhere for us here. And it's been an interesting evening, no doubt, for those folks there, with some more of those damage pictures coming in. This is what our radar looks like for now. Again, we just have that one last warning. It's got about 8 minutes left on it. It's 60-mile-an-hour winds now. This line that was producing all of the tornadic activity, the storm itself that has spent a good 400 to 500 miles of the day working across the Central Plains and into Kentucky, has now been congealed into this line. New severe thunderstorm warning just popped up for Letcher County now until 1:45 a.m. Same with Pike County. These are just outside of the Fox 56 viewing area, but nonetheless, we'll give you an update because this is the area and the cell that was producing the tornadic activity through a good portion of tonight. So if we zoom in on it, you can see still the notch, still the potential for some inflow, some rotation on there in some form or fashion. And so for people that are in, say, the Fleming Neon area, Jenkins and Whitesburg, way out there in southeastern Kentucky, that's where we're going to be seeing the rest of this storm roll through. Still some potential rotation with it, but nonetheless just a severe thunderstorm warning for them until 1:45 a.m. there in Letcher. And again, back in the spot where the tornado seems to have finished its journey in Hyden, where it was over Hyden for a brief moment. It was confirmed at that time, and then it seemed as the progression went on, the next couple of scans quickly likely lifted, and the rotation dissipated rather abruptly there as it made it through. They're still inside a severe thunderstorm warning until 1:30, so just 6 minutes left on that. Heavy rainfall within there and some damaging potential straight line winds upwards of 60 miles an hour. But this whole line, the rest of it, is not severe warned here in Kentucky at this time. You do see that in northern Tennessee, they've got a couple of those warnings, but nonetheless, this line is going to be moving out, and they so far have not opted to put any more warnings on that main line that's going through, so we will just watch that continue into the Harlan area here over the course of the next 20 to 30 minutes and bring them some loud and potentially gusty thunderstorms to go along with it. Again, everything back behind this is just stuck in some rain now, and you saw there in Laurel County there just a few minutes ago, the green is now over London, meaning some lighter rain, but another little batch of some moderate to heavier rainfall is working into Laurel County, Pulaski County, and there's a flash flood warning there for them as well. That is in place now for us until 4:15 a.m. Same with northern Pulaski County because more of that heavy rain is to follow. So areas hit over and over, multiple tornadoes possible that came through. Then we had the straight line wind threat, and now we have the heavier rainfall following up to bring us that chance for some flash flooding. All in all, it's been a long night, no doubt, and we'll have to watch how that progresses here. I can tell you with good news that as we go in towards our weekend, at least the cleanup efforts will not be hindered by Mother Nature. Saturday and Sunday both look like this. We've got the 60s for the overnight low into Saturday. That's obviously now, and then trying to rebound into the 70s. Cold front did move through. It's not going to really do enough, though, to take us completely out of the warmth. At least makes for a decent weekend, especially as those cleanup efforts go on into Sunday as well. And then just because we're still waiting for more of that update from Pulaski County, let me just give you a quick forecast point as we go into next week. Monday through Thursday, we're looking at more showers and thunderstorm potential, possibly some strong storms and some heavy rainfall as we get into what looks like another active setup for next week. Now, next week does not look as hot, does not look as humid, so the severe threat right now, at least on Monday, does not look all that great, but the potential for some strong storms are in there, and that might change a little bit as the weekend goes on. Nonetheless, Monday, some scattered showers and storms. Tuesday, we're looking at a similar theme for us into the morning hours, and then we might see our third round there come in for Wednesday as we move into what could be a cooler second half of next week. So I just wanted to throw those forecast points in there for you. We didn't really get a chance to talk about anything other than the storms here tonight, and since we are waiting for some more of those details to come out of Pulaski County from our reporters and such there, figured I'd give you just a brief update on how your weekend shapes up and what we've got left. So one more view here of these storms as they roll through. Justin, do you have any other notes to add? Any other things you're seeing out of this that might be of concern?
Well, that leading edge still has that one warning, as you mentioned, and that is going through. That's again Letcher County, as you called out. Then the next kind of leading edge of this, even though these are not severe warned, these are still impactful from Williamsburg to Barberville, south of Manchester now, and still going through Hyden. So still the back edge of that rain all the way as far north as Danville. So people that are down here going, picking up debris, literally, and picking up things from their home in Somerset and London and over even into parts of Clay County, they're having to do it in the rain. But I've seen some videos where still more emergency responders are coming in from other communities, still coming in to help with the cleanup process that we still have, obviously, that's going to take days to go through here into southern parts of Kentucky. But once this line moves out, okay, once it gets to Bell, Harlan, Letcher, those are right there on the fringe of our viewing area. It's going to be out of our viewing area. All right, we're right on the fringe. We've been with you from the very beginning here since these warnings lasted. This is how long it's going to take. It may, on the leading edge, it's 1:28 right now. That's saying that it may take all the way till almost, let's say, 3:30 as it moves right there on the Kentucky Virginia state line there. But I think it's probably going to be out of there a little quicker than that. At least the leading edge part is. Behind it, again, though, still some steadier, heavier rain as we're wrapping up this storm, thankfully. All right, and then as Justin mentioned, tomorrow is a calmer day. We need some calm weather. We need some dry weather all across the state, especially for our friends that were so hard hit down into the southern part of Kentucky. Did you have anything else, Peyton, before we go back to programming?
Real quick, I just want to show, in case people are just joining us real quick, just some of the damage video, if we can get it up. Just, I'll talk over it if we could get it full. If you guys have Somerset first, we'll start with that. Here's some of that video from down in Somerset. Again, this was sent in to us by Hannah Jackson, one of our former producers. She lives down in the area. You can see those downed trees, first responders everywhere. The Somerset Fire Department is telling us that it is making it difficult because people are out sightseeing. So we're seeing that happening right now, that they're asking people to please stay at home unless you have to be out. Also, we're seeing, again, just a lot of downed trees and power lines. Some of those can still be active at times. And really, this is still in the search and rescue phase at this point. We're hearing from all of our sources on the ground. I've been texting all of my sources and friends in Pulaski County, and emergency officials are telling us they are still very much in active search and rescue phase right now, going door to door, going through rubble, searching for folks, making sure everyone's okay. We do not have an official number on injuries or anything like that at this point. We're working to get that information, but what I've been told from emergency management in Pulaski County, at least, is they don't even know a number or anything like that at this point. So we're continuing to work those sources, get that information. But again, right now, still dealing with some steady rain, though, and that's making those search efforts a little more difficult. Here's some video from down in Laurel County right now. We've showed this a couple times. I want to show it one more time. It is just heartbreaking what we're seeing. You can see those homes, devastating pictures there. Those cars look like they've been flipped. The doors ripped off, windows mashed in there. So just some heartbreaking images. This again down in Laurel County. Coming into us this evening, and just heartbreaking images coming out of there. And first responders there as well continue to search through homes and rubble and things like that. They are continuing to continue to go door to door and go through those areas and search and do everything they can. I also mentioned Kentucky State Police in London as well, requesting some chainsaws. If you have an extra chainsaw or anything like that, they are requesting those for folks to donate those or drop them off so they can have their troopers go out with chainsaws and things to help first responding efforts. I mean, it's still, guys, all hands on deck tonight. So we'll continue to monitor this as the night goes on. Again, we have a crew on their way. They're almost in Somerset right now, going to get some video for us and things like that. But guys, this is just devastating tonight. We've been on the air for several hours now. It's just heartbreaking what we're seeing in our southernmost counties.
I've never seen, I said this earlier, and I got emotional. I couldn't help to do so. When you see that and you meet these people, you go to school visits and you talk to these kids, and you go to community events and you meet people and say, well, we watch you. When you have that personal connection with those folks, and then you just see what people are going through, you can't help for it to tug at your heart. And it is just absolutely devastating. Thankfully, though, the severe threat in our coverage area has ended.
And we heard sound just a little bit ago from a woman in Laurel County. And most important thing, she was saying all of her family is safe. We hope that is the case for everybody when these events happen. And so obviously praying for all those first responders as well out there tonight. They have a busy night, busy next few days ahead of them, as this is just the beginning.
Do you have anything, Dan?
At least the weekend weather will be quiet enough for you where you'll be able to get out and do some cleanup. Still watching for some scattered activity again right away Monday and into next week. So a couple of days to collect yourselves, and we'll be praying for you, of course, as you start your cleanup efforts after what was a terrible night.
And we'll also have, of course, coverage tomorrow night at 10. We'll have the latest. Our team of reporters will be in all of those areas, and we'll be in here with the latest forecasts as well. So.
All right. Well, thank you guys both for the coverage you did before I got in here this evening, and we thank you for joining us and staying with Fox 56, the Weather Authority. For Justin and Peyton and myself, another Justin here, thanks for sticking with us throughout the evening. For now, we'll go back to programming. We pray that you rest easy tonight.
Download the Fox 56 Weather Authority app today.